to write it off your taxes? No matter the reason, this is like some weird form of fraud. It's not the kind that I normally like to talk about. But who uses their business account for this? We also need to talk about what happened in April of 2016 as well, when Ryan asked a fan, can we get married? When she told him she was 16, he said, come back in 2 years, which would be when she was 18.
Naturally.
But 1 year later, Ryan reached back out, saying this, quote, I retweeted your selfie. Do I get nudes? She replies, that's illegal. He says, quote, don't worry, I ain't no snitch.
Okay, so up until now, I was like, you know, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, you know, we don't know. I mean, it's hearsay, everything like that. This seems to be problematic. Yeah, now you couldn't wait another year. Like, you could, well, what is this?
Now, I asked the person who gave me these if she thought he was joking. At the time, she responded, no, I think it was legit because it happened a lot on Snapchat. And he fully, tried to give me money to do it. Now, this once again corroborates the...
This is the thing, too, because, like...
Our shields are down, Commander.
You know, there's, like, a situation where... Like, let's say some guy gets called out for something, and then you have a bunch of girls that come out, and they start accusing him of shit, like, after the fact. After it already comes out that this person is, like, a weirdo. And, like, all of those stories are all informed by the first story, because everybody there knows the first story. So there's, like, more of a possibility that, like, maybe some of them could be lying. But this all happened privately. And it is very odd that all of these little details and these different things all seem to line up without any prior corroboration. You see what I'm saying? Very, very interesting.
Creepy behavior we've seen from Ryan Piacente in the past. So for those of you who have been counting, we now have 5 independent accusations. Some anonymous, some fully on the record. We have multiple forms of evidence. First-hand accounts, DMs, payment processing receipts, and we have 4 independent character testimonies from people who claim to know Ryan. Now, as always, I tried to reach out to Ryan to get his side of the story 7 times over 2 months and have gotten nothing in the way of an explanation. The last I heard, he was spotted at an airport, and we have no idea of his whereabouts since.
Bro, he's going somewhere else, man. Yeah, he's getting the fuck out of here.
Commander. Phase jump on my mark.
Now, this investigation has been exhausting, honestly, both emotionally and just to carry all the details in my head of all the accusations, the whistleblowers. So I imagine for you it's been kind of confusing as well. So I want to summarize this piece so we don't miss anything. There's really 2 sides to the story. We have Revolt the company and Misfits, a YouTuber group. In one, Ryan is...
It's like, yeah, I don't know, like, whether something like this is true, and I wouldn't say that, like, those accusations are, like, 100% true, because, like, you never really know, but, like, man, I'm feeling like it's a high 90%, though. Like, I'm feeling like it's a really high 90%. Because, like, you know, like, think about how many of the things happened in the shower. There was, like, 4 or 5 different people that said something happened in the shower with no prior corroboration. That's really, like... I think that whenever you listen to stories like this, what's extremely telling is small details aligning.
Accused of running a Ponzi-type merch company where he spent too much money and needed bigger and bigger merch drops to pay off debts and minimum guarantees.
Naturally.
When that didn't work, he resorted to faking invoices to creators like MrBeast to increase cost of goods while being so bad at logistics that even when creators got paid, their fans received their merch late, the wrong merch, or no merch at all.
Oh, surprise!
Get donated to charity, so that's fun too. And that's just part 1. Then you have the Misfits, where Ryan used his proximity.
Again, I think that the money that's donated to charity is actually the least... Well, that's not true, because I just remember the fact that they're donating people's clothes that they actually bought. Because, like, if they had donated clothes that they just didn't sell, I would be totally okay with that. That's very common for companies to give away extra stock and write it off their taxes.
Fame and money to abuse a series of guys and girls.
I know everybody likes to, like, you guys really like to do this. I think this is, like, a very unhealthy thing to do. Like, this guy doesn't look like some crazy, like, rapist, creep, awful person. He just looks like an average guy. And it's always very easy to identify somebody after the fact and say, hey, well, I know this person is awful, and, you know, now that I look at him, it's like, look at those eyes, look at his face, look at all this stuff. You had no idea about any of this. Like, I know, I joke around with stuff like this, oh, like, you could just tell by looking at him, but you really can't. Like, and this is one of the things that, like, you guys need to realize is that creepy, weird people like this exist, and they blend in with the environment. They're not this, like, it's not like there's a red sign that says, I'm a creep, or I'm a scammer, or anything like that. These are just normal, everyday guys. Like, if this guy walked into a Subway, everybody would be like, oh, there's the guy here for the Subway. If he walked into a magic card shop, it's like, oh, what's up, man? He doesn't seem, there's nothing weird or creepy about this guy at all. Like, and that's the point that I'm making, is that you can't just, like, again, it's always easy to look at somebody after you hear a bunch of accusations and then be like, oh, I knew it, just look at him. But you don't. You fucking don't. The banality of evil. Yeah, it's not like, yeah, someone doesn't have like a red neon sign saying I'm evil over them.
Use a series of guys and girls through a pattern of grooming, intoxication, and then assault, usually involving a shower somewhere.
Yeah.
The damage this man has done is hard to calculate because it's not just a financial number on a spreadsheet. People have stopped creating content because of Ryan. Others have had mental health breakdowns, and it's past time we warn people about them so no one else gets hurt.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching and supporting through viewing, subscribing, checking out the Patreon. I'm so indebted to this community, and I will see you in 2024.
Holy shit, man. What a fucking video. This is amazing. Oh my god. Yeah, I had no idea about any of this shit. Wow. Holy fuck, man. The video editing's top notch. Yeah, this is insane. Let me link you guys the video. Give it a like, man. It's a CoffeeZilla video. He hasn't made one in a while. Streamer well-made video. This is astonishing, man. This is great. Holy fuck. Yeah, I heard about some stuff about this, like, kind of a little bit here and there. But, like, I didn't really know enough about it to, like, really have, like, I mean, what the fuck, right? I have no idea. I didn't hear anything about the guy being a creep or anything like that. Like, that's all, like, completely fucking new. And, holy shit, man. Why hasn't he gone to the cops, assuming he hasn't?
Good day, Commander.
Because it's not as black and white. Like, the only thing that's, like, super black and white is him trying to solicit pictures from that girl. Like, that's black and white. Everything else, it's like, I was trembling, because, like, like, they didn't actively say no, but there was a massive power imbalance, and they were clearly uncomfortable. So, like, they did everything except for say no, and they didn't try to, like, actively stop him. So, I think this is actually, like, a very complex situation, and it's not as simple as just, like, oh my god. Like, most of these court cases that I know are, very complex. And it's nothing that's, like, just, it's not like some guy breaks in randomly and just, like, violently rapes somebody. Like, that's usually not what happens, because those are the simple, easy cases. But many of them exist on, like, a really complex spectrum like this. And I think that's probably why they didn't go to the police, is because they thought they couldn't get a resolution from it. It was like some sort of power imbalance. They wanted to maintain the relationship for some reason. There's a lot of reasons for that. Yeah, like paying for nudes with the company money. That's you know.
Good day, Commander.
That's not a good idea. Yeah, I don't think that's, that's just not a good idea. He just said, she said, wanting to keep your career. Yeah, exactly. Content creator said it'll be normal. Well, I'm a weird guy. I'm just not doing this, right? That's the difference. If a guy tries anything like that on me, it turns into Highlander. That can only be one. Kill or be killed. What the fuck is wrong with those employees?
Good day,
everybody says that until it happens to them. It's the same as, like, how many of you guys have ever fantasized about, you know, like, there being a shooter at a grocery store and you take down the shooter? Like, everybody fantasizes about doing something like that, but in the moment, you're not the hero that you think you are, right? I mean, not me. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that, or some other type of fantasy, or whatever. Yeah, male hero fantasy. It's extremely fucking common. That's why there's a lot of movies that are built off of it. Or, like, getting in a bar fight or something like that. Not me, I would run. Well, I think that there are a lot of people that do fantasize about that. I'm not saying like everybody does, but it's very common. It's extremely common, or some variation of that. And because of that, people trick themselves into thinking that they will actually do this whenever they're in that situation. And it's very easy to say that, oh, I would do this in this situation. Like, for example, there have been really bad, weird things that have happened to me that, like, if I was in the right mindset, I would have approached them totally different. But because it just came as such a shock, I was just like, what the fuck? And I didn't do anything.
Military structure complete.
Like, that's happened to me multiple times in my life. And I think that's what happens for a lot. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, I just froze. Well, I didn't even really freeze. I was just, like, kind of processing it. Yeah, like, what the fuck? What's going on? This fight or flight? Yeah. There it is. The stun, yeah, I was stun locked, exactly. So, yeah, a lot of this kind of stuff can happen, and it's that's why I think that they didn't go to the police, because, like, there wasn't explicit... Like, it was not explicit. It was, like, implied or coerced. So, yeah, you can train keeping calm with meditation, stuff like that, martial arts. Yeah, but, like, and then whenever something happens, you either respond to it the right way or not. I don't want to go back and forth about this. All I'm really trying to get at here is that,
Understood.
Yeah, I mean... oh, my God.
Good day, Commander.
Like, the scamming and shit is just like, yeah, yes, like, people buy stuff, and that's it. I can confirm, been at the bar when gunfire started. First instinct is to duck and run. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about, like, you know, who's going to be a hero in a certain situation, right? Like, we can get, you know, like, caught up in that and talk about it for, like, hours. But the reality is that, like, yeah, selling these clothes to the Salvation Army, I don't even think that necessarily is bad, but it is if people already bought them. You know what I mean? The guy just seems like a real scumbag. I'll go ahead and I'll link the video to you guys. This is amazing. This is what an incredible video. Make sure to give it a like, guys. Like, the CoffeeZilla videos have only gotten better over the years. Holy fuck. Do you think CoffeeZilla's presentation is kind of corny? No, I don't think there's a problem with it at all. Like, I could see why somebody would think it was corny, for sure. But I thought it was funny and it was clever, and it kind of, you know, it keeps the story going. It doesn't bother me. You've been watching him for years or so now? Yeah, I have. I've watched him for a long time. It's his thing. Yeah, exactly. XQC was saying that they sold his unapproved merch. Well, I think that's totally fine. I mean, or sorry, sold it. Okay, that is a bad thing. Never mind. Sorry, I didn't read that properly.
Easily done.
If he didn't approve it, they shouldn't be selling it.
Let's take him out.
Now, this has been a video game that has received a tremendous amount of consideration, whether it be from psychos on Twitter, psychos on YouTube, or psychos on Twitch. There's a lot of psychos that have been very interested in this game. A lot of people had very strong opinions about it, and I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna try it out for myself. People say something like that is problematic. I want to see for myself. And that way you learn. Here we go. The coffin.
Easily done.
You failed to place a bid.
Lately, I don't want to.
So be it.
Well, I do. Just go over and... What the fuck? I thought she's your friend. Mom said you'd help me with anything. We'll get in trouble. Oh, so she's a crazy bitch. Good morning, Ashley. All right. As much as you love feeling sorry for yourself, it's time for a little interlude. It's titled Find Nutrients to Not Die. Ready, set, go. Okay, we'll just go get some food. Inside the cabinets is nothing. Okay, we're on the table. Junk and unpaid bills, they cannot be eaten. Where's a fucking refrigerator? What about coffee? You can't have coffee? Let me go ahead and do something real quick. Yeah, that should be better. That way you guys can see more of the game. Alright, okay, can I go outside? The front door won't budge. You've been locked in here for months now. Oh, that sounds like my house. Okay, what about the garbage? This is where you and your older brother pile up the trash. It's already been scavenged several times and is truly and utterly exhausted as a food source. But wait, wait, what? What's that? Got a can of tomato. Ugh! Amazing, you should show it to your brother. Okay, is he, maybe he's down here? Oh, there he is.
Ready.
Hi. You show him the tomato can. Ta-da! What's this? Let me move it up again. I'm trying to make this work. There we go, should be better. Okay. Not the reaction you were hoping for? Ahem. Ta-da! We're not eating that, huh? That's the very last thing we have. I think we should hold on to it a little bit longer. Quit your complaining. You're energetic enough to go rummaging through a trash, so clearly you're not dying yet. How'd you know that I was in? Because I hid it there, away from you. Oh, wow. Bro, they're hiding tomato cans from each other? Just get on food stamps. Gasp. I'll live in a den of snakes. Don't rile me up. You're making me hungry. Do you know what would help with that, Andrew, my dear? No, put the tomatoes away somewhere. Put them in my mouth, I will. I can see that your heart is serious. Fine, let's eat them. Screw our future selves. Time for you to go cook some tomatoes.
Item complete, Commander.
Okay. Let's cook the tomatoes. Warden, good day. You still alive in there? Oh shit, who's this? Hello, if you won't make a sound, I'll assume you're dead. And I don't bring food for the dead. Wait, what the hell is this? Food for the dead?
Good day, Commander.
You don't bring it to the living either. I take that as a yes, still alive. And don't blame me for the delivery guys screwing up. Can't you go grab something from the store for us? No, it's not my job. I'll check on you later. Bye. No, wait. Bro, why can't they just get their own food? Aren't they like 20 years old? Just walk down to the fucking convenience store and go get something, put it in your pocket, and walk out. He doesn't. God damn it.
Easily done.
Yeah, what is this? Just steal something from the store. Oh wait, I gotta cook the tomatoes. Oh, actually, what's in this house? Or what's in this door? Okay, what's here? The balcony door's locked. Okay, nothing's here. Can I go this way? Oh, I can. Oh, it's a bathroom. Oh.
Item complete, Commander.
Oh. This place is a shithole. It's a washing machine. Detergent. Drinking this gets more and more tempting every day. Okay, so we've got a Tide Pod enjoyer. Sigh. You boil the canned tomatoes and make delicious boiled canned tomatoes. There's even a little bit of pepper left to season with. This is a gourmet stuff right here. No salt, though. You've used all of it to spike your water in order to avoid overhydrating yourself while drinking to fill your stomach. Well, how is it? At this point, you could feed me a can of worms and I'd say it's the best thing I've ever had. Kiss ass. No, I'm saying that's how hungry I am. Is it in that moment that an ominous audio assaults your eardrums? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? The neighbor's at it again? Want to go take a peek? Nope. But I'll come along if you do. Here, catch. Okay, we got the keys. Alright, well let's... Oh, now I've got both of them. Okay, unlock the balcony door.
Yes, Commander.
Oh, shit.
At once.
I can't really see shit from here. Contemplate you should take a leap of faith towards the neighbor's balcony. It's only the 4th floor. Don't even think about it. Ah, it's no fun. Guess set something up to cross? Wait, what? An ashtray. There's no cigarettes left to smoke, but it's still good for bashing things in. What the fuck?
Item complete, Commander. Can I do out?
You can't cross. Okay, I've got to go find something. How about... It's a cleaning closet, various supplies. Okay, nothing in here is good.
Ready for battle.
Okay, what about this way? The bed? Your parents have...
Place your bids, you scallywags. Yes, Commander. At once.
All right.
Good day, Commander.
Well, what's on the bookshelf? Oh, crap. Are you all right? These goddamn do-it-yourself shows, I swear. Got a wooden plank. Oh, we got one. Oh, I didn't even realize that's where I was supposed to go. Okay, let's use the plank. Set down the wooden plank. Okay. Oh, there we go. The boxes are full of useless junk. Okay, what's going on in here? What's this?
You got the full weight of a star base at your disposal.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, demons from hell? Hear my plea. Oh, the unholy ones. I come seeking your advice. God damn it. What am I doing wrong? I thought that it was perfect. I knew I shouldn't have killed that. I knew I should have killed that guy when I had the chance. What do you make of that?
Good day,
Everybody
Commander.
needs a hobby, I guess. Yeah, he's just doing what he needs to do.
You were
Forget this. It's almost time they let us watch TV. Okay.
You got the full weight of a star base
Well, how do you
at
watch
your
TV?
disposal.
There's no TV in here, right?
An X marks the coordinates.
An alarm clock is ticking away. There's an old drawing in the drawer. Andy and Laylee and the very...
active. You don't have to tell us
The
twice.
fuck? How dare you laugh at my artistic genius? The garbage you hold on to. Hey, I was proud of this one. I still am. It's still one of the best things you ever draw. Wait. Why did she just give me a heart? I'll take that as a compliment. Haha. The trash.
Good day, Commander.
In the trash lie your hopes and
Standing by.
and
Moving out.
dreams. Exactly where they belong. Okay. Sure. Where the fuck's the TV? Oh, that's a TV. Ah, the remote's dead. Just push the buttons on a TV. What a pain. Fine, I'll fetch some batteries for you. I always have to do everything. Oh, Jesus, man. Yeah, what was you? It is. Okay, so we're gonna watch TV now? Like, or can we play games? A VHS player cannot be eaten. Not with that attitude. A bunch of rented movies. Their due date is past ages ago, but what can you do? What is this, set in 2005?
Can I do out?
Mom won't pick up no matter how many times you call. You've also tried to order food a bazillion times, but for whatever reason, the orders never arrive.
Comlink
Well, these guys are
active.
real idiots, huh? Because if I was DVDs? Well, like, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, this is like 1999. Did you find the batteries? Oh, where are they? Oh, I have to find them? Oh, fuck. The freezer's complete. Oh, that's a freezer. I didn't know that. Oh, what about in here? Oh, it's got to be on the table, right? No. Where the fuck are the batteries?
Active. We'll see it done.
Okay. I'll just go take it out of one of his things in his room. I think that's probably the best idea. Okay. I'm gonna take it out of the alarm clock. Yeah. Got batteries. There it is. Yo, fuck that shit. Okay, I'll put it back in. Thank you kindly. Now praise me. Wow, amazing. You did such a bang-up job. More? Oh, you heaven sent God's gift to humanity. How did life ever subsist in your absence? No one fetches batteries like you do. I stand in awe of your very excellence. You sit in awe. Yeah, you should sit too. It's starting. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. Today we share with you some joyous developments in regards to the tainted water situation. Happy to announce that all apartments to which tainted water have been delivered have been secured. It's been 3 months since the first incident was discovered, and the death toll is now at a comfy 53 total. No biggie. And the quarantine period for those whom are at risk has been extended by another 2 weeks. Oh, I played this game before. Yeah, I did that in real life. Okay. Again? And to our friends in quarantine, thank you for keeping your disgusting parasite-infested bodies far, far away from me. Sorry, it's thank you for your consideration for the public safety.
Shields it down, Commander.
That's all for today. Cheers. I'm going to bed. You decide to do the same. Was that a mom? Wait, Mom, where are you going? Me and your father will be staying at the hotel for a bit. I thought you said that we should stay home until... I didn't drink anything. Mom. Not booze, not dirty contaminated water, nothing. The only thing I've drank is some orange juice from the carton. Anyway, I'm gonna miss my bus. You and Andrew can join us later. Alright, this won't hurt a bit. Wait, Wait, the nurse... Oh, fuck, she got vaccinated? Uh-oh. Oh, shit. It hurts like a motherfucker. There we go. And then now you. How long do we have to stay home? The results from your blood work will be done tomorrow. So if everything is well, you're free to come and go and please you after that. And if not, then you'll get to see what happens if not. Ooh. That's all for now. Take care.
Commander. Yes, Commander. At once.
Stop calling me, Ashley, please. If you need something, ask the workers there. I can't do anything for you. And I don't want to hear these lies about starving anymore. Why the hell would I lie about this? Listen, this new apartment is a bit of a fixer-upper, so I'm really busy. Besides, isn't Andrew with you? What do you need me to pacify you for? You don't get lazy around all day doing nothing. I don't know what you've got to complain about. Anyway, I gotta go. Please don't call me anymore. I won't answer. Damn. I'm sorry. Mom's not, bro, she's not dealing with this shit. Yeah, where's the dad? After reminiscing all night, you wake up as one does. Instead of ruminating upon your misery, you decide to clean the house a bit. Why? Why would you do that? Can I go inside here? Bothering your satanic neighbor seems like a bad idea. Oh, yeah, probably.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay, well, I don't want to clean up the house. Like, fuck that. It's fine. Got a mop. Okay. I guess I'll clean these up. Mop some dirt. What else is there to take care of? That's it. It's fine. Yeah, everything else is good.
You got the full weight of a star
Chore simulator? True. Oh, books on the floor. Okay, I'll clean these up. Okay.
Good day, Commander.
So people are mad about this game? You returned all the books to your shelf. Now what else could you clean? Why are people mad about this game? This is like totally chill. There's nothing wrong here at all. Yeah, like this is fine. I don't see any mess. Where's the mess? Trash bags? No, you can't do that. Maybe it's in here. Oh, I gotta put away his clothes? Why? He's just laying around. Picked up some laundry. Jesus. You're cleaning. What a waste of energy. He really is like me in high school. Yeah, it's about right. People really hate chores, yeah. You're a waste of energy. Oh, what a fucking bitch. Thanks. Just don't overdo it. Come to think of it, do we even have any detergent left? Oh, that's right. That's the stuff I was going to drink. Okay, I think it was over here, right? Nope, it wasn't. It was on the other one. Okay.
What they've done to this country is just absolutely terrible. But we'll end the left's campaign of racial discrimination and restore equality to our land and all over our land. And you see that happening so much with the vote and the kind of vote we got. Nobody ever expected anything like that. And I'll end all of the Marxists.
They all did. Everybody expected. That's why they bet on it. People knew this shit was going to happen. Everybody knew this shit was going to happen. The only people that didn't know it was going to happen is people that were betting on it not happening. That's it.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion policies across the entire federal government immediately. And at the same time, we will ban these unlawful policies from the... We're going to ban them from the private sector as well. In America, we believe in the merit system.
Thank
merit
God.
system. And now, because of the major
thank
decision handed down recently by the Supreme Court.
The item is complete.
Yeah, our country has again gone back to the merit system. That's what made our country great. And I want to just thank the Supreme Court, because that took a great deal of courage for them to do that.
So back to normal?
And some people were surprised by it.
Back to normal.
That's what made us great. Merit. made us great.
He's right. I'll watch this real quick and show you. Thank God. Thank you. I'm a working man and ain't right. Nah, this is the thing. Is like, as a guy, right? Like, I would never support somebody that would give an advantage to somebody that I wouldn't be eligible for. I would never do it. Like, if you want to tell me that somebody is going to get an advantage over me because they're a woman or a different race than me, I will never vote for you. Not in a million fucking years. That's like chickens for KFC.
The US now, Donald Trump has wasted no time preparing America about what to expect when he returns to the White House. He declared that woke has to stop, insisting that it's destroying the country, and essentially that woke is BS.
This is the rest of the question,
With a
or
stroke of my
that
pen
speech.
on day one, we're going to stop the transgender lunacy.
Yeah.
And we will keep men out of women's sports.
Freya, I think
it's crazy that we got to a situation where that deserves applause.
The item is ready.
Wow. How did that happen? Wow.
A lot of relieved parents and relieved women hearing that message.
Easiest W in history?
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think this is the courage that so few
People say great distraction politics. This is the thing that people care about. People, so this is the thing, nobody gives a fuck about what happens on the other side of the world. It's abstract. Is an abstract idea. People care about what happens inside of their own head and in their own everyday life. And when you fuck with somebody's everyday life and you tell them that the thoughts that they have aren't real, the way that they say the way that they see the world is wrong, they are going to hate you for that. And so the problem is that you can't argue with this perspective of like, oh, well, there's like some greater goal with like these policy decisions that matter more. The policy, nobody gives a fuck about policy. They don't understand it. They can't read. Nobody knows what it is. They're not going to read a whole massive document about it. But what they do know is if somebody wants to sit there and insult their intelligence and tell them that, like, you know, it's fair for somebody to get an advantage over them, they're going to be fucking mad. And that's it. And that's the only thing that's going to matter. Like, that is the first order problem in that person's life, because it directly affects them. It directly affects them. It directly targets them. And it's like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. People are going to care about what's happening in their own backyard to themselves before anything else. And that's it. 100%. Yeah, if you can't understand this, you've been dumb as you dumb as fuck. That's it. For real, trying to appease a moral superpower isn't wholesome. It's marketing. It's manipulative, disingenuous. Exactly. Yeah. Seeing their money to foreign countries affects them, but it's more hidden. Exactly. No, I'm not saying that stuff doesn't matter, but what I'm saying is that it's not a message that an average person can relate to or appreciate. And the reason why is because an average person doesn't know where Ukraine is.
Base at your disposal. Can I do out?
Straight up. They don't know where it is.
You got the full weight of a star base.
They don't know what it is. Not true.
Can
average
I do
Americans?
out?
What state is that? Y'all really think? What do you think the percentage is of American citizens that can find Ukraine on the map?
Can I do out?
I'd say it's probably 10%.
Comlink active.
I say it's probably 10, 15%. Only Americans don't know shit? The rest of the world is educated? No, that's a lie. I've seen retards all over the world.
An X marks the coordinates.
I bet there's retards in China.
Active.
I guarantee you there's retards in Britain. England's probably full of retards. Germany, so many dumbasses over in Germany. Probably full of a bunch of morons over in Germany. I guarantee you. Absolutely. Canada, full of a bunch of dumb idiots. Russia, yep. It's the same. It's a reality.
You don't have to tell us
leaders
twice.
Really have. And it's easy now to look at Trump saying this stuff and be like, well, of course men shouldn't be in women's sports.
Yeah, duh.
But that was not the consensus position even a couple of years ago, even a year ago.
No, exactly. And that's the reason why is people will revolt. Like the one thing that people hate more than anything is to live with their mind in a cage. And if you tell somebody that what they see directly in front of them isn't there, they will hate you for it, and nothing else matters. Because if you don't even have autonomy over your own perception, what does anything else matter? That's it.
Things were so different, but it just shows you the power that courageous individuals can have and how we can actually turn around our culture. We really can. Conservatives often resign themselves to the backseat and say, oh, well, everything's just going to get more progressive and there's nothing we can really do about it, but try to resist as much as we can. But at the end of the day, it's a losing fight. So,
yeah, my question is, why does it matter? Not worrying about your own country is a huge reason why there's issues there are today. Who gives a fuck where it's at? I'm not, look, if you don't know where Ukraine is, I don't care if you, there are people who don't know where Ukraine is, and they are educated professionals that you would pay a lot of money for their services.
Your orders.
That's the reality, is that you can't know everything. I bet there are doctors who don't know where Ukraine is. And you would be saying, thank God I have this doctor.
You don't have to
That's
tell
just the
us
reality.
Twice.
Those people don't give a fuck. That's embarrassing? No, it's not. It's not embarrassing. I guarantee you, this is one thing I've learned. With almost everyone, people have, like, vast gaps in knowledge.
Ready to pack a punch.
There are so many things in the world that there are tons of, like, I learned this originally with computers. Because I remember seeing, like, I would talk to adults that I would think would be very smart as a kid, and they wouldn't understand what a CD-ROM was. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Everybody's got blind spots, man.
The item is ready.
No, we can actually turn the ship around.
Yeah.
And I think the way Trump has come out so strongly against this crazy radical
console players don't know what FPS is. True.
And the way he has been rewarded by the general public shows that conservatives need to get up off their butts and stop whining about always losing every fight, because they don't have to lose. We can actually win fights. And this proves if we're on the side of truth, if we're on the side of reality and common sense, we will win.
Yeah, and
you will. She's right, 100% right about that. Yeah, she's 100% right. Absolutely truth. Yeah, it's the truth.
Let's make some martyrs.
Yeah, absolutely, it's the truth. It's not even a question. Like, you ask people about the things that Trump is saying, you're going to get 89% of people saying yeah. That's it.
Saw that in the US, didn't we, Joe? With the election results, the pendulum really swung, and people really rejected all this woke nonsense.
Yeah, and it's not just the right; it's not just conservatives as well. So there is just a huge number of people in the Labor Party who were thinking the exact same thing, but basically thought that they were the only ones thinking it, and were scared to say anything in case they were cancelled or pilloried.
That's exactly right. Like, I had a friend of mine, he and I remember we drove home from community college to watch Obama's inauguration together. We sat in my downstairs room and we watched it on my big, CRT television. And we watched him become the president of the United States. And he was telling me about how, like, he thinks, like, yeah, it's like things are way too far. Way, way, way too far. So, and like, this is us. We were celebrating that.
Like bringing a gun
now, and again, Chris Minns is the embodiment
of
the sensible centrist Labor Party, and he's done some fantastic things for trans people and the LGBTQ community. Done things that, if anyone else did them, would be seen to be right. He's done it from a really sort of calm and careful and considered sort of sensible position, and I think that is the problem here is not necessarily been the issues themselves, but it's been the activists behind it, and it's been like what Freya said, where you have these people who care more about the sound of their own voices than they do about actually achieving outcomes. Or indeed,
I think that the activist people just don't like them. They talk down to average people. They are insulting. They're usually very privileged, and because they're extremely privileged, a lot of them telling other people that they're privileged falls on deaf ears. And I think that creates a lot of resentment. That's a big reason why. And I think with a lot of them also, there's like massive hypocrisies. Yeah, activists or narcissists. Well, I wouldn't say that like they all are, but a good number of them are, and enough of them are for it to be a stereotype, and for it to put people off.
The vulnerable people who they might be pretending to represent, but where they just want an issue to fight for, they want to be on the forefront of something. They look around, you know, oh, we've got marriage equality for gay people. Oh, what's next? Trans. So now. You have to accept that trans women are women, and if you don't say that, absolutely, and again,
hypocrisy is what pisses people off. Yeah,
absolutely, all the time, no matter what. Then you're transphobic, you're a bigot, and you have to be cancelled. And they get sort of ahead of these arguments, and then they try to brainwash people and say, if you don't support everything we say, this new orthodoxy that we've spelt out, if you don't support all of it, then you're a bigot and you're on the wrong side of history. And
people do that with me. Like, I've had this happen with me. Is like people have said that I am like a racist, or I hate women, or I'm transphobic, or something like that. They say this shit with me all the time. That's it. Yeah, they do it with everyone. Exactly, right? And so that's it. Nobody cares. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that the cancel gets abused. It doesn't mean shit anymore. Well, the reason why it doesn't mean shit is because people don't want it to. And it's because it did. Like back in, like for years, people would get deplatformed and they would get banned. And if somebody had like an opinion about something that was problematic, they would get in a lot of trouble for that and people would hate them. Yeah. And so like, that's the reason why. It's because, it's because people started fighting back. Exactly. Thank God.
Is just progress. And so conservatives think, oh, gee, that's progress. That's what I don't want to, end up looking like, a white supremacist during slavery or whatever. I better just do whatever they say. And of course, if you are seen to cross them and they do pile on, as we will see later on the show, then it is just absolutely brutal and it's ferocious. And people who would otherwise be...
Why people care what strangers say on Twitter? The reason why is that the strangers would go to the person's job and harass their family. And so like somebody would have like a bad take on like social media, and then they would dox the person and then try to ruin their life systematically.
No bid. You missed out.
I think that people can see that there's like a form of unfairness there. Like it's a scare tactic. Yeah, it is. It's a scare tactic. And stop having bad takes. Well, the thing is that, like, if you say that, and it's like, okay, well, then just don't say the thing that they don't want. Well, then they're going to turn around and do that to you. And that's what happened, like, you remember after the Trump assassination, and a lot of conservatives got together and ruined a bunch of people's lives over that. And I think that that's kind of the, that's the same thing, really. And so, yeah, it'll never be enough. No. Well, like, if you create a weapon, people are going to use the weapon against you. And I think that's what happened. Does it happen often? It happens enough for people to be worried about it. So I think that, like, do you remember the, so this is a good way to look at it. Do you remember the whole thing about, like, would you rather be in a abandoned forest with a man or a bear? And, like, women saying that they'd rather be in a forest with a bear? Well, that's a clearly illogical perspective to have, right? And it's an emotional perspective. Like, any logical person that thinks about this would know that this is retarded. But people think that because of their fear, right? They're afraid. And the male version of that is thinking that anytime that you try to message a girl or interact with a girl, you're going to get in trouble for sexual harassment. Like, these are two sides of the same coin. And I think that in a lot of cases, you have people that it doesn't have to happen all the time in order for people to be fucking freaking out about it. Another example is fentanyl. So you guys ever seen like how they have like fentanyl, like Narcan and like things to like stop fentanyl overdosing in like CVS now? And people would be talking about this? Right? Yeah. How many times do you think people really are overdosing on fentanyl randomly? Basically fucking never. Almost fucking never that happens.
Good day, Commander.
But the worry of it is so precise in their mind that they want to make sure that they're safe. Wrong all the time? In LA, it's daily, bro? How many people are in LA?
You got the full weight of
Happens a lot of every day?
at your disposal.
No. I mean, if you're a crackhead, yeah, sure, you can overdose on fentanyl. Maybe that's what happens. Bad take, bro. They don't think they're taking fent. No, there's people that think that they're going to get injected with needles randomly with fentanyl because it happened at a couple of concerts.
Can I do out?
That's it. That's the reason it. And so anyway, people think this. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, this is what goes on in people's heads. Now, everybody thinks that I'm crazy, but I want to tell you, I've been right about every fucking one of these things. I know how people think. And the reason why I think I know what people think is I think of the stupidest thing possible. That's what people think.
We're going down.
That's what it is. You're absolutely wrong. Yeah, just like I've been wrong about everything else. Anyway, so yeah, it's true. The threat of getting canceled, the threat and the worry in the back of the mind, that's what's dangerous. And when people see it can happen to somebody else, they think that it can happen to them. Not informed enough about this? Look up the numbers, bro.
How?
Of what? Average people that are getting injected without their consent for fentanyl? There's probably double-digit, if not single-digit numbers.
Colonizable planet.
Fractional, tiny, in a country of hundreds of millions of people.
Is underway.
So yeah, that's the stupidest thing. Yeah, exactly. And so anyway, it doesn't have to be injected. There's people randomly selling you fentanyl. So anyway, it's not right. It's fake pills, for sure. Your take is disrespectful and delusional. All right, we're gonna pull it up. Fentanyl overdoses per year. What is this here? 77,000 people have overdosed on fentanyl. So how many of these people? So let's just be logical here, right? Let's just be logical.
To place
and
a
so
bid.
in 1 year, right? So that's a shit one. Nah, but a lot of these people right here are people that are overdosing drug deaths. Yeah, a lot of people, synthetic opioids, methadone. You are not counting the people that are doing fentanyl on purpose.
Ready to pack a punch.
These are people who have also done fentanyl as well. Tyler supports what you're saying. The latest video in Philly, yeah, they don't get it. Yeah, exactly. No one is. You think people don't do fentanyl? Man, I don't know why. Why are people so retarded nowadays? It's so sad. 77,000 people get killed by this, and you think every single one of them did it on accident. How can you be so stupid?
One of our
What are the probabilities there? How many people are in the United States? Let's go ahead and do a calculation. Let's go ahead. We'll do a little bit of a calculation. It's like 360 million, right?
Ready for battle.
So let's divide this by 100. So what's 1% of that? 3.6 million people. Okay? So let's divide that by 100. 36,000. So you are 0.02% likely to have this happen.
Can I do
and it's in every store. That's my point.
Time to bid. Place them on.
And that is the most generous. Oh, yeah, 0.02. I think that it was assumed, but yes, 0.02.
You got the full weight of a star base at your disposal.
Something does not have to be a high probability for it to weigh on people's minds. How many people are worried about shark attacks? How many shark attacks are there?
You don't have to tell us twice.
Let's go ahead. Let's look at shark attacks.
Fleet created.
How many people get attacked by sharks in the U.S. each year?
Can I do out?
16.
Ready for battle. So be it.
36,
Good day,
maybe.
Commander. You
But
got
we
the
have Shark
full
Week.
weight of a star base at your disposal. Can I do out?
Or plane crashes. That's another one.
Our fleet is under attack.
I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you, like, this is clickbait, honestly. It is. I understand that people might immediately disagree with what I'm saying.
Good day, Commander.
But there is truth. And I can apply this logic to 100 different situations and get the exact same result.
This won't take long.
And that's the truth. And I see if you look at seatbelts, fucking car accidents, not car accidents are the dangerous one. Plane accidents. You can look at shark bites. You can look at the fentanyl getting injected with needles. You can get, let's see, getting abducted, getting kidnapped. Here's another one. How many of you guys had your parents worried because when you were a kid, they thought they would put razor blades in your fucking Halloween candy?
Let this be a lesson. Next time, pay up.
How many more examples do I need before people can acknowledge the common reality?
The item is ready.
How many more? How long do we have to do this? To accept this as a reality. Guys, I'm right, yeah. I'm right about this shit. Like, it's true. I can give you more and more and more examples. That's it. So yes, this happened twice. Yes, they're eating the cats and dogs. Recent one. Anthrax in your mail. Recent one. Yep, there it is.
Can I do
And so, anyway, let's move on. My point is, what a waste of time tangent to try to prove common sense to people that like to live in a delusion. The numbers are what they are. Anyway, it doesn't have to happen to a lot of people for a lot of people to be worried about it happening. That's my point.
Sympathetic to a lot of these issues, and certainly a lot of the people who are suffering as a result, just go, well, no, screw you all. If you're just going to run around marauding people, abusing them, telling people, you know, trying to come for people's jobs or whatever it is, just because they don't agree with the last thing that you've said everyone has to agree with, and I'm just going to be opposed to whatever it is you say,
Let the bidding
no matter what,
commence.
because that is what you're doing to everyone else.
But that's the thing, it's different from, you know, if you're conservative and standing up for your values and what you believe in, you don't have to be labelled a white supremacist, a Nazi, all these horrible things. That
people call me a white supremacist and Nazi all the time.
At your disposal.
No bid.
That's right.
You missed out.
And this is the issue, is that, like, and now this is the big problem. Nazis and Adolf is coming back in a big way. And it's the boy who cried wolf. Nobody's taking it seriously. I see these posts all the time, talking about, like, oh, wow, the Holocaust, it wasn't 6 million, or, oh, well, why didn't they let us look at his speeches with it being in English? Like,
our fleet is under attack.
I've been seeing a lot of this.
You got the full weight of a starbase at your disposal.
But nobody's taking it seriously because people have been too busy calling other people Nazis for being against illegal immigration.
Ready to pack a punch. Good day, Commander.
That's what's happening.
Is itching for a target.
That's right. Exactly. Like, I mean, the idea of calling Donald Trump a Nazi is...
It's outrageous.
And we've heard that on repeat.
The person that is most insulting to him is not Donald Trump. It is all the actual victims of Nazism. Of course, the Jewish community would laugh their ass off at you, because to them, Donald Trump is the savior who's delivered the best result for Israel in his presidency than any of the other presidents could deliver. But again, it just shows that anyone... again, it's that ridiculous extremist ideological thinking where if you don't agree with everything I say, you're a bigot, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, and there's no shades of people who disagree.
I think the key problem that the left will always run into is that what is progress? And if you blindly pursue progress as the virtue in and of itself, you're actually not bound to any underlying values. There's no guiding philosophy other than the fact that we need to move forward, regardless of...
I think that the people don't have a guiding philosophy. They usually just pick up different social causes so they can make themselves feel better about themselves. I think that's the case with most social causes, is that the majority of people do them for social reasons and they don't actually do them because they care about them. That's the primary reason. I have an 18-year-old that works with me. He actually idolizes the views of Adolf. He says he was a genius, really crept under my skin. Oh, yeah. No, definitely. And it's going to get worse.
Can I do out?
It's going to get way worse. Like, you think it's bad now? Wait for 5-10 more years. Like, it's going to be probably 5 times as bad as it is now.
We're moving to. No one will tell you. Well, what are we progressing towards? Just endless revolution, endless tearing down of the cultural fabric, endless undermining of everything, you know, that's built Western civilization, because that is progress and that is the only value that they hold. But conservatives will win, and I don't even think it's conservatives necessarily. I think people on the side of truth will win.
Normal people.
When we actually stick to truths that have held the test of time, gender being one of them. Hey, the fundamental binary that at a base level distinguishes the most fundamental differences between human beings, gender, that's actually a real thing. And yes, there are only 2. If we stick to...
Yeah, this was one of the things that totally put people over the edge. I actually think that this matters more than any foreign conflict. This put more people over the edge than anything else.
Place your bids, you scallywags.
Yeah, that's really it. And even babies can tell boys and girls. Ask the scientists. The woman's brought up right. Yeah, no, I'm saying easiest radicalization of my fucking life. Yeah, I think this radicalized more people than almost anything else. And I think that the multiplier onto this was the focus on having it targeted towards underage people. Underage people and then the sports thing. Like, those 2 things coming together, that dialed it up to 11. Why did it? The reason why it did is because people don't agree with it, and they're not allowed to say that. I can't speak for, like, what is it like in India or China? I don't know. But here in Western culture, the idea of being able to speak your own mind and have your own opinions of things is in the DNA of the culture and the society. And the moment that you take that away from somebody is the moment that you are completely against the vast majority of people. That's the reason why. No, it's not. It is. It absolutely is. It's built into our laws. It's built into our Constitution. It's built into what our Constitution was built off of. It's built into, like, a Greek philosophy, which is what a lot of people refer back to. As I said, it's in the DNA. It's for over 1,000 years. What are we talking about?
Truth
absolutely
as our core value, we will always come out on the right side of history, because eventually truth will prevail. Reality is what you run into when you're wrong, and the left is running into reality fast because they're fundamentally wrong.
Well said.
That's right, and it's sorry, this obsesses me, but that's right. I mean, so the key here is
who says you can't disagree? Nick Merckx, Call of Duty. When Nick Merckx lost his skin with Call of Duty because he said that he didn't want to have, like a gender ideology and LGBT stuff in a school with like elementary kids.
Good day, Commander.
Like, that happens. That radicalizes people. It does. It does. That immediately radicalizes people.
How can I be of service?
All he said was to leave the kids alone. Yeah, and people can look at Activision, right? Because Activision makes Call of Duty.
That's more like it.
Activision Blizzard has another game, Overwatch. Overwatch is in a country. They do their World Cup in Saudi Arabia. Now, who do you think has more extreme views on LGBT? Nick Merckx or Saudi Arabia?
Plotting jump coordinates. Our cannon is
I think that an average person can see that.
You don't have to tell
an average person can see how fucking ridiculous that is, that they have rappers, people that make rap songs about killing people, but he can't say that. It's the optics, yeah, and people are tired of that.
Can I do out?
Yeah, you weren't saying these things during COVID. It was like Hitler, if you said anything against vaccines, you'd be deplatformed. Even random comments on Facebook were permabanned.
Full weights of a star base at your disposal.
That's right. It's so fucking pathetic. Like Disney and Blizzard played into this for profit gains. Well, they're still gonna do it. Yeah. Modern culture in Saudi isn't like that anymore. You'd be surprised. That's why I wanted to go. I wanted to go to Saudi Arabia and go to the Middle East myself because I want to see what it's really like. No, I agree, but I think there are a lot of people there that are not fans of it. That's why I wanted to go myself. If I go, by the way, which it's not an if, I really plan on doing it. Like probably about this same time next year, I'll probably go with like S-Fan, Nick, and Tips, and maybe a couple other guys. We're gonna stream the whole thing.
Yes, Commander, at once.
Yeah, we're streaming the whole thing. And so like yeah, we got somebody. Oh, that's right. I forgot the most important person. My dad. My dad also wants to go.
Personally.
So yeah, no, we talked about it for like a lot now, for like a month, and so that's it. And yeah, you're gonna be literally spend Christmas. It'd be after, like probably at the end of at the beginning of the new year. Will you get to the truth when streaming everything? I hope so. Yeah. That's why I want to. I want to see it for myself. Because I've heard a lot of conflicting information about that too. A lot of very conflicting information.
Commander.
And I want to see it for myself. Didn't a streamer get arrested for streaming before? Aren't you worried? I'll work and cooperate with the authorities, respect their culture, and follow all of their laws and follow their traditions and respect the way that they live and the way that they do things over there because I am a guest in the country and I am a normal person. I'm not Johnny Somali. Come on.
Our fleet is under attack.
People that go around saying you're on the wrong side of history means that they and only they know what the future is. So what the left, and this is extreme left as opposed to the
It's actually Valorant gifting me subs.
Left. But
y'all were trying to get me to play the game.
And again, this is where revolutions will
see what happens.
And civil wars cost millions and millions of dollars. You imagine a utopia in your head. You all agree what it must look like, or don't agree, whatever, but you thrash out what it must look like. You purge everyone who disagrees with you, take them out the back and shoot them, and then you have this utopia. And then from that moment onwards, it does not matter how many people die or who suffers, because it is all worth it in pursuit of this utopia that you.
Yeah, this is always true. Like the worst things in history are done for the best reasons.
Oh, you scared me.
People burn Joan of Arc alive. Because they love God.
Easily done.
Like, yeah, that's just how it is. There's always a greater goal or whatever. Hell, yeah, the road to hell is paved with good intent.
We're underway.
Yeah, the ends justify the means. That's always what people say when they're the ones that are executing the ends.
They're through our armor.
Or executing the means, excuse me.
Was coming, but only exists in your imagination, and that's how Mao was able to do it. That's how the Soviets were able to do it.
But I would say the danger of the pragmatic centre left that you talk about, and I have to call you up on Chris Minns, right? Through the Equality Bill, which allows for gender self-identification, a whole bunch of things that I think actually go to this wokeness that we need to stamp out. And so the problem with the centre left as opposed to the far left is they are in some senses even more dangerous because they haven't thought through the full utopian vision. They just believe in progress.
No, they don't.
I think that a lot of people, like, you gotta realize that a lot of people don't really give a fuck about this shit at all. They just don't want to be told what to do, and they just want to be able to live their life. I think that's really the majority of people, more than anything else. That's really the majority. And that comes with, like, inside of, like, these are the football Americans. These are the Walmart Americans.
How can I help you, Commander?
I'm actually running blind. I'd rather know where you're heading towards, and then we can attack that than being on this endless train of progress.
The barbecue, the grilling Americans.
You just sort of see where we were and how we were going and solve problems as they arise. And that is what the Equality Bill sought to do. My wife works for Body Australia, so she was working on the bill, and so she was very happy with Chris Minns. She says that I'm no longer the most handsome man in her life. And again, to me, I thought it was very simple, but to me, it was the perfect example of not shoving things in people's faces or indeed in people's change rooms or whatever by dealing with.
Yeah, and you saw that happen with Disney, right? Like Disney took that thing out about like being transgender in their recent show. And like that's going to be the future. And everybody got mad at me for saying that, you know, if it was popular, Disney would be promoting white power.
We have wiped out an enemy colony.
Well, let's give it 10 years and let's see what happens.
Down, Commander.
A new colony has been founded.
Ready to pack a punch.
I mean, they promoted genocide of Indians back in the day. Before they were called Native Americans.
This won't be so easy. This won't be so easy. Ready to pack a punch. We're underway. Our shields are down, Commander.
Problems as they arise to protect people as much as possible on both sides, rather than again projecting this kind of
pro-white power again.
Sign up to it immediately.
The second time.
And so it is something that's done. You know, and I can guarantee if there are issues where women are feeling uncomfortable because of encroachment on women's space, I can he will come in, he will fix whatever needs to be fixed to do that. But it is all about just that non-ideological, solving problems in the simplest and easiest way, not cancelling people, not saying, okay, everything has to be like this. Believe it or not,
I think it radicalizes a lot of people. I think Nick Merckx and J.K. Rowling are two really good examples of that, where a person does something that is slightly off-center of what people expect them to do. And now, like, Anna Kasparian is another example recently, where they do something, or Elon Musk, another example. The Sue Grant Studio, yep, another example. I can come up with a lot of these. Somebody steps just a little bit off the path that's given to them, and now suddenly they're a demon. That's it. Cenk Uygur? Yeah, for sure. I've seen people saying the same thing about him recently, actually. Like with the recent thing he did. Yeah. And I think that, it's a huge thing. So let's have Kanye. I mean, Kanye. I think he went off that cliff on it. He's in his own world.
Activists who thought the equality bill should be junked entirely.
That was a mental health crisis, in my opinion.
So these are the kind of crazy people that we're dealing with, both on the left and the right.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I think I want to talk about this because I feel like this is going to be like a really big topic for like the next probably 5 years. It's going to be really big. It's on a mental breakdown. Yeah, no, I feel bad for Kanye. I hope he comes back and makes music again. It's good. That's it. And so, yeah. Kanye is delusional. Don't minimize mentally ill people, even if they're famous. Yeah, exactly right. That's probably what it mainly is. He isn't off center. He's in a whole other direction, bro. He's on another planet. But yeah. Anyway, so really, what I think is going to happen is like this is going to continue. This is going to continue getting worse, and it's going to continue getting more extreme. How are you going to test the conflicting information? I mean, you're going to wear a rainbow shirt and hold hands and kiss a guy in public? Oh, when I go to Middle East? No, I just experience. I just observe, right? Why would I want to go to a country and then intentionally try to antagonize the people there? That's disrespectful. I don't take my shoes off when I go into my own house. But if somebody asks me to take my shoes off when I go into their house, I do it. That's the way it is. That's common sense. Brave take? Yeah, no, why would I put myself in danger? Of course, it's common sense. Yeah, anybody does this. Yeah, it's basic respect. Yeah, you're not a barbarian. Yeah, exactly. And so, this is what I think. You never need to be the idiot to test it out. People do it for free. Yeah, exactly, right? And so anyway, this is going to become more and more common as the years go on, and I think that there's a lot of examples of this. Murder's not on par with taking your shoes off. Yeah, so like that's like an emotional blackmail type argument. Like I understand that, like, if you think that you can actually it can be the same thing. It's the same general idea.
Civilian structure
the problem with me is that my emotional compass does not point north. So you guys have known this. You know, I get myself into a lot of trouble for these reasons. Get into a lot of trouble for this. And so you're not going to catch me in one of these like optical things. I have no problem just saying it. It's not an issue for me. So yeah, too cold? Commander. It's not even cold. I think it's honestly, I think that I'm the only one who's not cold, honestly. I feel like I'm the only people that I'm the only person that's like really looking at it from a genuine way, because I think that really the problem with a lot of people is that
at once.
They're not willing to look at things in a way that creates friction, and I think that the result of that is that they end up hurting other people.
Comm channel open.
That's really what I think it is more than anything else. People who are emotionally clouded, yeah. And I feel like in a lot of cases, I'm like not emotionally clouded enough. Like I made a mistake recently with like talking to like somebody I knew, and I made somebody very uncomfortable. I said something I shouldn't have said, and it did not even occur to me that it was the wrong thing to do or say. I knew it. Yeah, no, it did not even occur to me. Like, I could not even imagine it being a problem. Was it a girl? Of course it's a girl. Yeah, obviously, right? Like, somebody's getting mad at me? Yeah, it's a girl. For fucking sure. Like, duh. Like, yeah, absolutely. I'll be right back. No, I apologize. I was
yes,
like,
Commander,
it's not,
at once.
you know,
Military
I was
structure
wrong.
complete.
That's just the way. That's why we never leave that. See? That's why you don't talk to them, boys. I'll be right back. Not being hired for being white. What is this?
Good day, Commander.
Joe Rogan experience.
And most companies have DEI scores, and most companies have all these different requirements, and they're openly allowed to discriminate against especially heterosexual white men.
I mean, there are one or two things about that.
Yeah, there was a thing that Elon tweeted, I think today or yesterday, in response to one of these things at Disney, where one of the guys at Disney like openly said, "I would never hire a straight white man." Like,
I have that on tape. You know, I have a lawsuit.
Well, that's why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
so you and I
who's
talked
he
about
suing?
it in the green room, and tell your story. Like, tell what happened.
What was going on?
How this shit fest.
Military structure complete.
It's quite a long story. I mean, when I started comedy and I've been doing it 20 years. So I've been on TV shows, guest stars, co-stars. You never really heard, you know, that's too many white guys, or, you know, it's getting a little too white. And then I remember, like, at comedy clubs, you just start to hear people say, you know, there's too many white guys, too many fucking white guys. And then it became quite popular to just start to say, there's too many of you guys. What do we do? We got to get rid of them. You know, the first time it happened to me, I was invited to do a podcast. So a woman, she was a lesbian. She wanted me to come on and tell the story of being raised by gay men. She goes, I think this will be good to bridge our two fan bases, so people can hear it from a straight guy's point of view of what it's like to kind of grow up around, you know, I grew up in gay bars and piano bars and drag.
I'm thinking such biased bullshit. I don't think it is. I think it's 100% true. Of course this is happening, because white people did it to black people back in the day. They still probably try to do it to black people whenever they can. They probably do it to Mexicans as well. They do it to Asians. They probably do it to Indians. Indians probably do it to black people. Black people probably do it to Asians. Like everybody is going to do this. But like, it's really not. Is it really crazy to imagine that people are racist? But is it really a shock? Yeah, like it's annoying. Yeah, there it is. So what's your point? The point is that what he's saying is probably true, and it's probably happening, because I've seen this stuff happen. I've seen people say stuff like this, for sure. I think we all have, especially on social media. So to imagine this has never happened in real life, actually, it's only a joke, that's crazy. Everyone after Asians? Well, I mean, everybody is going to, like, what I'm saying is that people are bigoted in different ways, right? There's no, like, one group that's, like, I'm not trying to say one group is getting it worse than other. I'm just saying that that's what happens.
Shows, and I'm kind of the long-term study for what it does to you.
Yeah.
It fucks you up.
Good day, Commander.
You know, I started to think maybe I'm gay, maybe I'm, you know, I tried in college, actually. I was going home to visit my family. I tried kissing a guy just because I felt like I needed to fit in. This shit really, it really...
How'd that go?
Oh, he was like, get the fuck away from me. I remember I was in the car and just going like, fuck, maybe I'm gay. My dad's gay. I got a gay brother. One of my dad's brothers gay. I think my grandfather... It's, you know, shit's genetic.
Yeah,
it's genetic.
Sure.
And I lean in and goes, get the fuck away.
I never thought that I was gay, but I told my mom that I did because I looked at porn and she caught me. And then I told her that the only reason I looked at it was because everybody was bullying me in school, calling me gay. And it turned her from being mad at me to feeling sorry for me. But no, I never thought I was gay.
One of our enemies has
I just wanted to fit in. I wanted something to talk
genetics?
about.
No, but like you got to remember, like most people don't know all the context of this, right? Especially growing up, right?
Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
I wanted to be the gay, you know.
Yeah.
And so
peer pressure.
Peer pressure. This girl invited me on to talk about this. And
the thing is that like some of my best moments like that come from absolute desperation. Because you are trying to fucking hold on no matter what. I gotta figure out something that's gonna work here.
It's a friend. She texts me.
Yes, a Hail Mary,
goes,
yeah.
I think this was after the George Floyd thing, maybe. And she goes, I can't have a straight white guy on anymore. And I remember just going like, what the fuck? You can't have me on just because my skin color?
What changed?
It was during the BLM stuff. That stuff really ramped up. It became kind of, I think, celebratory to go, fuck white people, fucking white women, white, you know.
I think that's true, and I think that did happen. If I go back and I think about what it was like during like 2020, yeah, that 100% was true. It totally dialed up. Like, I think that at that point it dialed up like anti-white racism, which I think now has dialed up anti-other groups racism. Like, I see more racism against black people now in the last 1 year than I had seen in the last 5 years previous to that.
Right. I think it became normalized.
Yeah.
Way too, any amount of too much, but it became celebrated in a way. And so that happened, and then it happened in another podcast, and then I had an acting agent who, whenever I would do stand, I used to host Mark Norman's show, Hot Soup, and all the agents would come, and every couple months, someone would go, why aren't you on SNL? We got to get you in Hollywood. Why aren't you? And I'd go, well, sure, sign me. You need auditions.
Yeah.
And so this guy saw me, and he brought me in. It was the biggest agency at the time. Abrams, it was called. And
yeah, this is what happens. Somebody says it's pattern recognition. Any type of pattern recognition that you have with people, of course humans are wired to have pattern recognition, but let's assume that that person is right and that pattern recognition is a good thing and it justifies racism. I think that you can use that same line of argumentation to have other types of ways to oppress men as well. Because there is a massive difference in violence, like way, way more than any racial difference by like a number of fucking degrees of like between men and women. Like men commit how many of the fucking like brutal murders? Men commit how many of these like things? It's like a 10x, right? So like unless you're okay with women thinking that all men are trash and then men being treated as if they are preemptively guilty because they're part of a group, then I don't want to hear about how pattern recognition is a good thing. Because pattern recognition is fundamentally dehumanizing. So is stereotyping. You're taking a person, you're removing their personhood, and you're considering them now just a part of a group. Literally dehumanizing. It's a bad idea. Everybody is different.
And I'm waiting around going, what's going on? No auditions? Is SNL coming to check me out? And he emails and he goes, it's too tough out there for white guys. He kind of was like, we're done here. The next day, fires me, removes me. Right? Well,
that's
the next
crazy.
Day. Soon after, removed me from the roster. I got an email.
And I think what we're seeing now, and like you see, like how many of you guys, you're seeing way more open racism by white people against other groups of people. Because like I would say this is like, I would say it 5x or 10x in like the last year or 2 years. And I think it's going to keep getting worse. It's always been that way. Yeah, but now people are speaking up about it. It radicalized everybody? Yeah, because I think this stuff radicalized white people for sure.
Good day, Commander.
And, like, it's definitely, like, a vicious cycle where, like, you know, obviously things pre-civil rights radicalize minorities, and then they're trying to do this, which radicalizes white people, which then radicalizes minorities more, and then, like, you know, it goes back and forth, right? It is a vicious cycle.
Some more time went by, and then another manager scouted me, brought me in. It's called AGI Entertainment, I think. And he goes, dude, you're a killer. He goes, you got an acting resume? He goes, we're going to get you on Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know, and I was like, okay, maybe this is finally somebody who's got the balls to fight this shit. Months go by, he calls me, and he goes, we hit a snag. He said, we can't have any more white guys, or we're not hiring white guys. We're not representing white guys. And I just was like, what the fuck is going on? How could you say that? Yeah. And I go, is it company policy? And he goes, yeah. So halfway through the conversation, I take my phone out, because this happened so many times. I was losing my fucking mind. My therapist goes, dude, you got to start recording this.
Yeah.
You have.
That's the thing is, like, I'm, you know, I hear something like this, right? I'm the kind of guy, you know, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Citation needed. Let's see where the evidence for this is.
To record this stuff, because it was happening every month. I got a commercial campaign.
This is how minorities have felt for a long time. It sucks. I mean, I feel like if somebody gets called back and they get told explicitly that we're not hiring you because you're a minority, I think that they would, like, everybody would agree that that's a bad thing, and nobody would support it. Yeah, then you should sue them. Like, if that happens to you, or you think that it's happening to you, then you should sue them, because it's illegal and it's bad.
They go, you've been replaced with a black woman. He goes, you're the guy for the job. Yeah. It was like a hosting thing where you got to do impressions. I was perfect for it. They replaced me. So I started, you know, being prepared. And I recorded it, and I got it on tape, and I just...
What did you get on tape? What did he say?
I got him literally saying, we will not represent white men, and it's company policy. He said it in plain... It couldn't be any more clear.
Wow.
He said, we cannot work with you just because your skin color.
Then play it. He's not going to play it now. If you're playing Magic the Gathering, do you want to show somebody else your cards before you play them, even if you know you're going to win? No, you don't, because you don't know what's going to happen. So, no, like, that's... Yeah, this is evidence. He has a court case with him. He's not going to play it in a fucking podcast. Why would he do that?
And where were you when you recorded this? Were you in New York?
Yeah, I was in New York, so you're allowed to do it.
That in New York?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Do you have to tell them?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Wow.
No, I was sitting at my I did like a little, because I couldn't work because of the vaccine stuff, so I was just locked in my room for 2 years making Instagram videos. I mean, I went from 0 to over 1 million followers just from... I was doing Fauci every day, doing cameos, going on the radio as Fauci, and it was just bizarre. But it fucked me up, because it's so confusing to have someone go, you are the man for the job. I had a great resume. I mean, I was being considered for big Hollywood roles. I was brought in for Sneaky Pete, Giovanni Ribisi. I was up for that role, and making my own films. Yeah, it fucked me up. I got really depressed. I lost my mind.
And so, when you recorded this on tape, what happened after you recorded it on tape?
Yes, Commander.
After that, I was too afraid, because when I would tell people about that...
Well, now it's Cope. He's an anti-vax retard.
Good day, Commander.
Well, let's say he is an anti-vax retard.
Dinner plans. This won't
then
take
why would
long.
why wouldn't they just say that? Because wouldn't that just be a better idea, right? Because, like, if that's legal, like, why would why would they say that? If that's the real reason, then why wouldn't they tell him that? So it's like, your logic is that they're actually firing him for a reason that's not bad, so because of that, they don't want to tell him the not bad reason, so instead they tell a reason that's illegal? I don't see the thinking here. I'm not seeing any thinking.
They would go, well, whatever. White guys have had it good. I'm going, I just fucking got here.
But isn't that one of the things that someone said to you? Like, white guys have had a good run?
Oh, people say it to me all the time.
But wasn't that one of the things that one of the agents had said to you?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if an agent said that, but
you were telling me this.
I think this is something that a lot of people do who feel like they're in a position that is non-advantageous, right? They feel like they are in a victim position. I think that women do this to men, and I think also men do this to women whenever bad things happen to women that are related to, like, you know, the sexual marketplace, basically. So, like, if something bad happens to a girl, they say, oh, well, you know, men have had to deal with rejection or this stuff all the time, and so, like, now it's good that it's happening to you. And like, same with, like, you know, poor people being happy whenever something bad happens to rich people. It's very, very common. And if you look at it through every vector, it's pretty much the same every single time. Yeah, it's cultural revenge, right? And, like, it's bad every single time. By the way, it's 100% bad. It's completely unjustifiable. It's just vengeful and negative, right? But it does happen in every vector, excuse me. And race is only one of them. It's called punching up. Yeah, exactly.
Someone said it to you.
Comedy. Yeah,
my perspective, if you're punching
clubs,
somebody, you're wrong.
Not necessarily clubs, but like the
unless they hit you first.
Shows, there would be no.
Then
there
it's
would
fine.
be like no white people allowed shows.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was at a club and I did a spot. Guy goes, "You going on the next show?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I didn't know you were in the LGBT plus 2RQR community." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, it's only no straight people allowed." And I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is going on?" And so I after that I waited a while. I talked to my therapist. I just didn't know what to do because I didn't want that
crazy.
to
It is crazy. It's weird.
A force of its own. I wanted to have my
really bad.
Which it had always been doing. And it's tough to have people call you say you're just being.
Somebody says we're going backwards in society. I think that you're right. I think what's happening right now is that I think this especially got multiplied during COVID, is that you have these weird fucks that nobody likes that have taken over positions of decision making and are using their weird fuck logic and their weird fuck values, and they're making society worse. Whenever I hear the people talk about, like, the people that he's referring to, like the racist people, right? Whether it's like some racist white person or like a black person or anything like that. Like, if you look at pictures of them on Twitter, they look like disgusting freaks. They do. There's always like weird stuff they have on their face. They have all kinds of tattoos everywhere. It looks like they don't shower. They look worse than I do. And every single fucking time they look like freaks. And so whenever I see this, I see these people and I think to myself, and I'm like, oh my God, the inmates have taken over the asylum. That's what's really happening, is that you have these people that are absolute fucking weirdos. These are people that should be in a mental institution, but the society has convinced themselves that this person's mental delusions are actually virtue. And that's how we've gotten where we are. Of course, you know, that's all right. Yeah. So you're a high bar or a low bar to compare? I mean, I look like an animal, right? I mean, let's be honest. So, yeah.
A victim or whatever. And it's like, yeah, sometimes you're a victim.
Dehumanizing? Oh, am I dehumanizing them? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, pretty much. I think they're shitty people. I think they're shitty, obnoxious people, and I don't think they should be in any position of power, and half of them should be locked up in a mental institution. That's what I think. Yeah, no, that's my opinion. Absolutely. They're ruining society for everybody, making it worse for literally everyone.
And you have to fight it to heal from it and to move on from it. And so I thought, if I don't fight this, I'm going to kill myself, because it was it's so humiliating to have someone go, your skin color is it's just not the time for it. And so I just thought, I'm going to go for it. And I just put it on Instagram. I said, hey, I just got turned down for being white. Any attorneys out there? And one guy reached out and goes, I'm a discrimination attorney. He goes, this is one of the most clear acts of discrimination I've ever seen. He said it's so clear cut. And
well, let's see what happens.
A couple years ago.
Yeah,
so
I want to. Okay, it took 2 years. Now
These
what?
Things take a long time. But
and so, what are you're suing for? Discrimination? Is that what you're suing for? Like,
yeah.
This is not common behavior. These people are in the dozens. So you're right. These people are an extreme minority. But what I think that extreme minority does is, because that extreme minority of people is not being held accountable by the rest of the culture, that extreme minority causes other people to become extreme, reactively, right? So it's like now this person who's a very bad actor is given no accountability for their bad actions. Well, now I'm extreme too, because hey, if the world's a circus, I might as well be a clown. So that's what happens, and that's why it's important to be fair, right? Is if you're not fair with people, then everything falls apart. Well, now let's be real, this is a minuscule problem. I think that if it was happening to you, or I guarantee you that there are things that other people would consider being a minuscule problem, and in a lot of ways it is. You're right. There are things like homelessness that are a much bigger issue. Things like, for example, like sending millions of dollars to Israel. I think that's a really, really big issue. Like wasting money on a lot of things, very, very big issue. Like lobbying in Congress, very big issue. So everybody wants to say that it's minuscule, which is like, yeah, that can be true, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth being fair about it. It doesn't mean that doesn't mean that you shouldn't care about it. It doesn't matter. Racial discrimination is a minuscule problem. We chatter. Well, like I'm saying, like that doesn't matter. Like what they're gonna think. You only have a single person experiencing this. Are you saying like nobody else has experienced this before? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably it. Not sure how I feel about others being accountable to hold extremists accountable. It makes me think of the douchebag toxic gamers, whereas I'm just trying to have fun. So this is what the difference is. It's that whenever a person, like, and we saw this on Twitch, for example, there was like that one guy who was calling to kill Destiny. There was like that girl who was talking about putting a bounty on like Mark Kern's head. And like people were telling me it was about me. Like, let's be real, right? Those people, if they were doing it to a liberal person and they were conservative, I'm going to be honest, I think that there's a 99% chance that they would be off the fucking platform. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like Frogan saying cracker take. Imagine if I said the opposite. I'd be gone.
Our planet
and
is
so
under siege.
that's an example, right? That's a direct example. And so it's not about us holding them accountable. We can't hold anybody accountable. It's the fact that the rules are not being applied evenly. That's what's wrong. All I think most people want is for the rules to just be applied evenly. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah, Twitch employees want out. Yeah, I don't know about that, right? But that's the way that I feel about it. Equal application of the law and rules. Yes, exactly. And if you have rules for some people and not other people, they're not rules, they're weapons. That's the way it works. It's just how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, every race is protected under this.
Do not conflate them as equal words. Would you like to... Do you want to engage in a thought exercise? Do you want to do that? We can do that if you choose to do that. Sure. How do you think that Twitch would respond if I said something about how black people were monkeys? What do you think they would do? Pretty simple, right? It's not the same circumstance, correct? Explain the difference. Bro, it's completely different from calling somebody a cracker. I don't really think so. I think that, like, fundamentally, whenever you're using a word in order to be a racial slur, like, so there's a lot of words that are not really racial slurs, but they can be used as racial slurs. So, like, for example, seeing monkeys at a zoo isn't a racial slur, but if you're using it against a minority group, it is. Eating crackers at a restaurant isn't a racial slur, but if you're talking about white people, it is. It's very simple. Like, it's common. So like, what I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. This is obviously. You can't move the goalpost. The words simply aren't of the same severity due to their history of use. So you think that somebody should be allowed to say racial slurs and make negative racial comments about any group of people? Do you think that there is a singular group of people that it should be acceptable to say racial slurs to? I'm not saying one is okay, but they hold different levels of severity.
That's more like it. Ready to pack a punch.
I think that it's obvious that the N-word has a different level of severity because we're calling it the N-word, right? Whereas we're using the other words.
Easily
what
done.
would the severity matter?
Comlink active. That's
so
more
like, but you agree that they're all bad.
Can
You're not saying one's okay. So you're saying it's bad, right? And I'm not saying the N-word. I didn't say that. It's the intention behind it is racist, right? So like, for example, if I come up with a way to be racist that's not historical, would it be okay? I don't live in definites. Every scenario should be handled differently. E.g., if you're a member of said minority, you have more leeway. Well, see, this is a problem, and that's all I'm saying. Well, what I'm saying is that I think that's racism.
Your orders.
I think when you give somebody the ability to, just a second, it would be more okay than the N-word. Let me untime you out. Yeah, so that to me is racism. So whenever you give a person more freedom, or when you give a person like more leeway, whenever a person enjoys more rights or more privileges because of their race, that's racism, and that's more or less. So if you give somebody something or you take it away, you are behaving as a racist. That is racist. That's the way that's the definition of the word. And it is systematic racism too. No, it's because N-word is an automatic timeout. We didn't mean to time out. It's an auto mod. So yeah, I think the idea that if you have a what do you call it? If you say something that's bad, but you're a minority, it's more okay. That's unironic systematic racism. It's not even a question. And that's the reason why a lot of people are angry. I think that's why you're seeing so much more racism now. That's why you go on Twitter and there's so much racism, because any normal, reasonable person can hear that and think, what the fuck? You're doing the same thing. You're doing the exact same thing. This is obviously a very bad thing. And like, this is being put out as if it's okay. And of course, that's why people are furious. And I think they're right to be furious. I think it's ridiculous.
Like bringing a gun to a knife fight.
I disagree as well. Historical context is being ignored. What would the historical context have to do with it? I'm confused. So you're saying that you can only be racist, like racism is okay if you're doing it to people and it's not historical? That's crazy. You know that's not true.
You don't have to tell us
that's obviously not true. You tried to compare them, did you not? Of course. But I compared the nature of the word. Like, there are, fair enough, a slight difference in that regard. To get your perspective is, and no, I said part of the minority, not that minorities can be racist of anyone. That makes it even worse. That makes it even worse. Listen, here's the thing. It's very simple. Whenever one person enjoys a privilege because of their race, it's racism. Whenever somebody does not enjoy a privilege because of their race, it's also racism. This is categorical. It's the definition of it. There's no fine print here. You can talk about it being on a shade of gray, but none of those shades of gray are good. And they should all be treated the same. I'm sorry, but if you say racial slurs about somebody on the website, and it says on the website that it's against the rules, then you should get banned. It's that simple. And if you're using it in a way that's racist,
we have wiped out an enemy
like, for
colony.
Example, there are a lot of terms that people use for black people to mask racism, like dog whistles, right? Young scholar, jogger, things like that. I go on 4chan, I know what the words are. If I'm using those words or somebody else is using those words, I want to see them banned on Twitch, because that's what's against the rules. And if you don't have the rules, then everything is chaos. What's that thing about people know enough about being offended by racism, all minorities or not? That's crazy racism. That's insane. No, I'm not even going to read that all the way. That's nuts. And so, yeah. What the fuck is jogger? A guy getting shot in his own neighborhood a few years ago? I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, really where it came from exactly. I think that might have been it. But the point is that this is it's definitional, right?
Full weights of a star base at your
saying
disposal.
cracker is punching up while saying anti-black slurs is punching down. That's the difference. Well, I don't know, but last time I checked, assault is still against the law, depending on if you're punching up or down. So, like, it's not that punching down or punching up is any better than each other. I think the only people that think that punching up is okay are the people that are punching up. And I think that if other people punched up at them, they'd be looking for an excuse about why it's not okay. You're still getting punched. What a dumb philosophy. Do you remember what I said about how most people's worldview is completely self-referential? And they actually don't have any real values other than values that already just basically enable their current beliefs? This is another example of that. What a surprise that you, in this position of being down, it's always okay to for you to punch up, but somehow the people that are below you, it's still not okay for them to punch you, right? So people craft this worldview that has no principles, no North Star, no actual value or ethics to it, and they're just looking to backwards reverse engineer a worldview that enables their own bad behavior. And I think that's a great example of it. Punching up is a great example. Do you think that me making fun of rich people is as bad as making fun of poor people for a poor person for being poor? Of course not. Yeah, it is. It is just as bad.
That's more like it.
Of course it is, because the action is the same. The intent is the same.
Commander.
I don't like this idea that a bad actor is okay because they're doing it towards somebody who's bad. They're still a bad actor. And also, what gives you the right to do that? What happens if they do that to you? It's a ridiculous idea. And again,
civilian structure complete.
If people, it's the same as like, oh, I can steal from this company because it's a big company, right? Like, how many of you guys have heard like this argumentation, like, oh, well, I can steal from Walmart because Walmart's a really big company, or like I can steal from CVS. Why is CVS complaining, about people stealing? Just let them steal, right? Well, I guarantee you that if somebody was stealing from them that had less money than them, then they would be calling the police and crying and complaining about it. It's, again, completely self-referential logic. There's no principle to this at all. It's totally indulgent, just completely immoral, bad behavior that is totally created to make themselves feel better and to justify their own bad behavior. Self-centered, yes. Self-centered, narcissistic behavior.
Civil rights laws. There's no...
Isn't that crazy, though, that they would think they're so encaptured by this fucking mind virus that they would think it's okay to be racist to white people.
Not only okay, but...
Well, you just heard a few of them in chat, right?
Upgrade complete.
You dumb bastard, we punch up because we're morally justified and you can't tell us off? Well, I just did, right? I said that you're a stupid moron, and if you do that to me, I'm absolutely going to punch down at you, and I'm going to enjoy it. I will. And I'm not sorry. So you can do it all you want and think that you have a moral justification. But if you do it to me, like I've done this to many people before, haven't I? Where somebody has said something mean to me, and then I put them on blast on a YouTube video, and then they started crying about harassment. Well, you get what you fucking deserve. Too bad. Don't punch up. If you don't want to be punched back, don't punch up. What justification? Yeah, that's the way it is. So yeah, no, you can justify your behavior however you want. That's fine, but I'm just telling you what's going to happen if you do that. Fuck around and find out.
Like celebratory.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, and I don't let people fucking do that to me. People think I'm just this nice little... I'm a fucking animal. When you grow up in a crazy environment and you survive it, man, it's like, fucking come at me. And I just said, it's a hill I'll die on. I don't care. I was like, this is war. We are in a full-blown culture war. And I would give up everything for it. Because I also owe it to, people that can't fight for themselves. I had this 10-year period where this shit wasn't going on. I built up my acting chops, my comedy chops, with nobody saying, you can't do that, you can't say that. And so I had this kind of, this energy. I go, I have to, no one's going to do it for you, I saw Jordan Peterson, fight for that Bill C-16 thing. And I go, holy shit.
It's like 10 years ago.
If it's worth watching the congressional hearing in Canada, where he's explaining you can't compel speech. You can't tell somebody you have to say my pronouns or you go to jail. He's like, this is going to get out of fucking control. Everything he said came true.
Yeah. I had him on when at the beginning of that stuff. And I remember people saying to me, like,
what
why
year
do you
was
care
that?
about what happens?
That was a
these
really long time
obscure
ago.
Moments that happen in these universities. And I had Brett Weinstein on after the Evergreen College thing. Same kind of
2016. Yeah, it was almost 10 years ago. That's what I thought.
I was saying, like, you don't know, these people are going to graduate. Do you understand what this is the future?
Yeah.
Like these
Mining
attitudes
upgrade
that are
complete.
these kids are being indoctrinated into these mindsets. They're going to expand, and they're going to be involved in the workplace, and they're going to be involved in politics and culture. Like this mind virus is going to go everywhere, and you got to say what it is. You got to call it out when you see it. That this is kind of crazy, and obviously,
I think that there's a lot of examples of like what he's really talking about. Like, I think a better way to explain it is like a mining canary problem. Is that if this can happen here, it can also happen in other places, and so you want to make sure that it doesn't happen at all. Because like a lot of people make appeals to triviality, like, oh, well, why do you care about this? It doesn't really matter. Well, if it doesn't really matter, then why are you trying to push it? The only time that the only time that people try to make you feel stupid for caring about something is whenever they are in a position of authority. It's whenever they are in a position of power. That's what happens.
All these years later, I mean, this was like 2016, I guess.
Yeah.
So here we are, you know.
Well, he's part of the reason.
So it's like, yeah, like it doesn't matter to you because you're getting what you want. Well, of course it doesn't matter, right?
I pursued this, Jordan, because he's like, you have to tell the truth. That's it. Tell the truth. Or tell the truth, or at least don't lie. You know, it's like, you can't bloody compel my speech, you know.
That's pretty good.
Clean your damn room, you know. It's like finger a cat, rescue your father from the belly. It's like, well, you know, it's like, you know.
How'd you develop that one? That's a good one.
You know why?
That's
Because I was in a little emasculated little he-him living in New York. And I would sit in my room and watch his lectures with my fucking head would explode. I go, holy, this is all the shit that I think and feel, but I haven't been able to articulate.
He's a brilliant guy.
And my life changed forever. Once I heard him say that, tell the truth, at least don't lie. And my life has changed.
Yeah, I think that this kind of stuff does happen. I think that it happens with everybody. And I think that there are also instances where like actual like
work. And I would sit in my room and watch his lectures with my to tell the truth. That's it. Tell the truth. Or tell the truth, or at least don't lie. You know, it's like, you can't bloody compel my speech, you know.
That's pretty good.
Clean your damn room, you know. It's like finger a cat, rescue your father from the belly. It's like, well, you know, it's like, you know. And
how'd you develop that one? That's a good one.
You know why?
That's
Because
a good
I
one.
was in a little tell the truth. Or tell the truth, or at least don't lie. You know, it's like, you can't bloody compel my speech, you know.
That's pretty good.
Clean your damn room, you know. It's like finger a cat, rescue your father from the belly. It's like, well, you know, it's like, you know. And
how'd you develop that one? That's a good one.
You know why?
That's
Because
a good
I
one.
was in a
Spent
little
2 years in
emasculated
COVID.
little he-him living in New York. And I would sit in my room and watch his lectures with my fucking head would explode. I go, holy, this is all the shit that I think and feel, but I haven't been able to articulate.
He's a brilliant guy.
And my life changed forever. Once I heard him say that, tell the truth, at least don't lie. And my life has changed.
Yeah, I think that this kind of stuff does happen. I think that it happens with everybody, and I think that there are also instances where, like, there's always going to be racism, like, because I think people are just racist. That's what they do, right? That's how they're programmed. So I think that's the way it goes. I mean, it's the same thing with, like, that Disney thing. I mean, I grew up as a minority in, like, the place that I grew up in, and, like, I would hear racism, but, like, it's just usually, like, it was not really... Like, there's a very big difference between, like, you know, teen guys, like, being, like, oh, yeah, we're going to call each other these, like, racial slurs as, like, a form of, like friendship, right? That's the way guys are, or at least, like, a lot of my friends were. And, like, there's a big difference between that and also, like, actually doing it at, like, a structural level, right? Yeah, very true. Yeah, definitely. There's jokes and actual racism. Yeah, there is. And I think there's a lot of people also... I think that a lot of this is perpetuated by people that have a really strong sense of internal guilt. And I think that what they do is they try to overcorrect because of that internal guilt. And they want to be seen as virtuous. I think almost all of the cases of why this stuff happens is actually, not all of them, but I think a good proportion of them, I don't want to say all, but a very good proportion of them are actually not because of anything other than that person wanting to feel like they're a good person. That's it. That's the only reason why they're doing it. So yeah. It's literally virtue signaling? Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Humans will always be racist until we meet an alien, then we'll come together and hate them. You're absolutely right. And, you know, whenever there weren't, you know, a lot of minorities in America, or as many, you know, you had white people that are like, oh, well, these are the Catholics, and these are the Italians, and these are the, you know, Protestants. And we'll always find a reason to kill each other, right? We always will do this. It's going to happen forever. So, like, if you put, you know, like 100 white people in a room, then, you know, if there's no other minorities, everybody's white there, they'll figure out something. They'll figure out a reason for it. It's not like, oh, well, it's just if nobody's the same color, it's going to be it. What if the aliens are hot? Well, that would be perfect, right? Women versus men. Yeah, there you go. Like prison. Yeah, exactly. It's always what's going to happen. Yeah, Dad's built in our genetic code. I think there's an ancient Arab proverb. My dad used to always tell me, it said, me against my brother, me and my brother against my cousin, and me and my brother and my cousin against the world. And I think that is a very, very true thing to the human psychology. It's extremely, very true. People will always find a reason to complain and get mad at somebody else for one reason or another. So yeah. Do you think it's problematic that there are words you can't even say anymore, even in an academic sense? Words should not have that much power that we can? I don't know. I mean, like, back in the day, like, we
Let's take him out.
I remember we would read Huckleberry Finn.
Start making your dinner plan.
And the teacher was always calling on a white person.
Time is short. What's
say
this? Affirmative.
And I remember they would get to it.
Down, Commander.
And they'd be like, so okay if I say this? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. They would just fucking say it.
Targets in sight. Let's take him out.
Because, like, we would, I remember it was like me and, you know, Dylan, that guy, like, the bald guy comes over, show us your dick, Dylan. We went to high school together. And, like, we looked at each other like,
I'll make this short.
It's coming, it's coming.
Start making your dinner plan.
Full send it, yeah. Man,
long.
I remember that real well. Those were some good days. Bro, my teacher did that to me. Yeah, exactly. Bro, it's kind of pathetic to say people have always been racist, so let's just tolerate that. Don't you have any higher standard for society? I do. I think that you should hold people to a higher standard, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't expect the lower standard. The reason why you create the standard is because people are of that lower standard. You create the higher standard in response to the lower baseline standard. That's the whole logic behind it. So yeah, I think that's the whole point. I think that in general, if you hold people to high expectations, they'll meet them. And I think that if you don't hold people to high expectations, they'll also meet them. Yeah, a perfect example that in his life, Benjamin Franklin wrote about how Germans weren't white. Everybody does this. Yeah, people are always going to find out a way to do this. Yeah, zero tolerance policies. People are going to be racist, whatever. Does racism start with discrimination? I don't know. I mean, it starts with a lot of things, right? I mean, I don't know. The problem is that not everyone's held to the same expectations. Yeah, and that's the issue, right? It's like if you have that problem, that's huge, because then that rots everything. Like it's like a poison idea.
Start making your dinner plans.
I regret to inform you, the men are not okay. That's right, folks. The men are not okay. The men have no friends.
Men have fewer friends than ever, and it's harming their health. The male friendship recession is having dire consequences.
No girl.
What's behind the rise of lonely single men? Well, I mean, a lot of things.
Girlfriend. No college.
Generation of American men give up on college. I just feel lost. Yeah, that sucks.
College education, no money, are breaking their legs and inserting metal rods into their bones.
It's finally over. From 5'5" to 6'0". What if they measured him in like a year after this, and it turned out that he was 5'11"? Because like, I feel like that's kind of the same thing as 5'5", right? Yeah, does he get his money back? Does he get to sue them? Like, how does that work? I mean, by the way, I don't think this is like anything wrong with men. I mean, like, girls get boob implants all the time, right? They get the Brazilian fucking butt lift stuff too. So, like, I don't think this is really that surprising.
Be a few inches taller, and listening to AI Batman helped them overcome their pornography addiction.
I've seen these where it's like Master Chief explains to you why you shouldn't jerk off to incest porn. Master Chief convinces you to clean the dog poop out of your bathtub. No, I'm serious. Like, bro, like, I'm not kidding. Now, I'm not gonna watch one of these because if I do, I'll probably have to jump out the window. But I just want you to know that it exists.
You deserve real love.
Oh,
Turns out the society that was built by and allegedly for men has indeed let them down. Now you might be thinking, oh look, another boo-hoo poor men video by Shoe on Head.
That's more like it.
Yes. And if you have a problem with that, tune into literally anything else.
The man question?
Defense
Men
upgrade
are in a
complete.
crisis.
I don't know how people drink
Easily
energy
done.
drinks. What the hell? What? They taste good? Bro, I've never had one. I had like 2 sips. I said nope.
And it seems nobody really cares. And the people who do care just seem like the people who want to sell them.
Military structure
It's not me.
Yeah, there's like guys like, yeah, I really care about your problems. Please subscribe to my fucking newsletter for $25 a month and it'll tell you how to grow chest hair. And that's what you need. You need to get chest hair, aviator sunglasses, and you have to only wear fitted jeans. And if you do that, you're gonna actually be cool.
I'm different. So before we get into this, let's quickly get into today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Holzgern. Holzgern is a young Austrian company that designs
unique...
unique...
You guys remember whenever Summit got his sponsorship dropped from Monster because he was smoking weed on stream? And I went and I said that,
Ready to pack a punch.
You know what Monster Energy should do is they should have a competition. Have somebody that smokes weed nonstop next to somebody who drinks Monster Energy drinks nonstop, and let's see who dies first. And I heard through the grapevine that Monster Energy is not willing to work with me in any capacity whatsoever.
Crafted watches
because I was right.
And jewelry made from all natural materials. Their high-quality timepieces come in various designs for both men and women, making them the perfect gift for any occasion. They're a great blend of function and fashion, and overall I just think they look very classy, especially the men's watch collection. I was pretty impressed with the silver casing and blue marble dial of the Naturalist watch, which made for a great gift for my boyfriend. He especially loved the casual yet stylish appearance, making it an ideal choice to wear both at work and at home. I'm also really happy with the watch I picked out. It's made from
actually, I wore a watch in like 4th grade and I lost it.
From black and white marble and features a nice black leather bracelet that just feels so comfy. They also create elegantly crafted earrings, very unique handbags, sunglasses, and necklaces, like this rose marble elevation necklace. It makes a really memorable and unique gift for a loved one. All of their products have a 24-month warranty, and ordering online is super easy.
Bro, XQC's watch was way more than this.
Comlink.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
That's more like
Free
it.
shipping to the US and most EU countries within 2 to 5 days. So if you want to get yourself a good quality watch and support the channel, I highly recommend checking out their store and clicking the link in the description below. Use my special code SHOE15 at checkout. That will give you 15% off for all products store-wide. So go to the link down below and choose your own unique piece of nature. Thank you, Holzgern, for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, as always, for not skipping the ad.
Why are men and boys struggling? And what should we do about it?
A few new studies have come out that have shown that young men are more lonely and single than ever before. But it's not just men. The women in...
I think also, you know, there's a bit of this, like, I think, yeah, it's societal, but there's also a lot of guys that...
Military structure complete.
It's like if you spend your time growing up jerking off to weird porn to the point to where by the time that you turn 18, you're only sexually attracted to animals that don't exist. I think this isn't healthy either. Like, there's a lot of dudes that, like, whenever they see a girl without makeup on, they think that there's, like, something wrong with her.
Children, too. It's predicted 45% of women will be single and childless by 2030.
Well,
according
exciting.
to the media, this is a good thing. The she-economy
why is this a good... Why do they say it's a good thing? Oh, because it's retailers saying it's a good thing. Yeah, it's probably true for retailers.
booming, as they say. And meanwhile, men being single is treated like this.
New study explains why some single men...
What is she doing with her face?
Why some single men are having a hard time finding a new partner.
Some of the music that they listen to speaks very derogatory.
Right. Yeah, man, stop listening.
Yeah. No, I mean, bro, there are so many, like I've listened to some of these, like, female rapper songs, and they're just as bad. Who the fuck was it that, like, admitted to, like, drugging and having sex? Was it Cardi B? I think it was, right? Yeah.
An auction.
So, like, I don't want to hear that shit. It's the music. Oh, really? That's an argument I haven't heard for 20 years.
Listening to that derogatory music, then maybe you won't be single. I don't know, I think men and women being single and lonely
I feel like a lot of the guys that are really single and lonely on the internet, they're not listening to that music. They're listening to like the Lord of the Rings soundtrack or the Divinity Original Sin 2 soundtrack. Like, they're not listening to rap.
There might be something wrong with society. Perhaps we should address this, not just wave it off as empowering or pathetic. According to several different articles, I love how that's my source, I read about it on the internet, research shows that people from individualist countries show a greater sense of loneliness. This is linked to socioeconomic development, increased education, a shift...
Y'all want to see a chart that's pretty cute? This chart right here, from 2008 to 2018, within 10 years, it went from 8% to 27% dudes that can't get a girlfriend and hook up with a chick. You know what came out in 2008? Wrath of the Lich King. Funny little fact there. But, yeah, there you go.
Towards white-collar jobs and urbanization. Japan also has an issue with loneliness. In fact, they have a whole movement of people they call the Hikikomori. Did I say that right?
Probably not.
Okay. Basically, postmodern hermits. Mostly young men who completely withdraw from society.
I don't see this as a problem. I think, and there's also girls that do this in Japan, too. I think it's probably like a 90-10 or like 80-20 thing where it's mainly guys that do it. But there are girls that do it as well. And I think that the reason why is that...
Your orders!
Like, living life can be really fucking annoying. Especially whenever you're always having to do things that you don't want to do. Because you think about it, right? And you you wake up in the morning, and you just got done going to a school for a degree you didn't really want to get. And now you're going to a job that you don't really want to work at. You drive through traffic or sit through a train that takes an hour. While you're playing a gacha game that you don't have enough money to buy the good characters, so you keep losing to people that are like some oil prince in Dubai keeps farming you. You finally get to work, and you have to work there for 12 hours a day, and if you leave before the boss does, then you get fired. So then, after all of this stuff happens, you get home, it's another 2 hours on the subway, losing to another oil prince, or sorry, you know, maybe some trust fund kid in America is now farming you in Fate Grand Order, like, I don't know, one of those fucking gotcha games, I don't even know if that was PvP or not, but it doesn't matter. Point is still the same. You get home, and then now you have to, now you play a video game that you fucking hate. You play League of Legends, but you stopped liking League of Legends in 2017. That was 6 years ago. And to you, it feels like yesterday, but everybody else has moved on. And you're still in gold. And you were in gold in 2017. Things aren't moving forward. You don't have a girlfriend. You stay up late playing League, thinking to yourself, just one more game. I'll see if I can get my placement game for the next rank. And then you get to your placement game and you lose.
Squad leader
you go to bed, it's late, and you're mad, and you wake up the next morning, and you didn't get enough sleep for work, and then the cycle repeats itself, right?
Research
so what is it a surprise that people are like, you know what, fuck this, like, I'm done. Like, I just, like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to live this life. What's the point of it? Yeah, it's like, what are you, like, what are you working towards? I think that's really what the problem is that, like, people don't have a North Star. Like, for example, like back in the old days, right? Like the 50s and, you know, the idealized time, you know, you got like Jesus, and you've got like, you're going to have a family, and it's like, you don't need to worry. Like, and there's also like, you don't have to worry, right? Because in the 50s, it's like, Russia's going to nuclear bomb us and we're all going to be dead, and no one's going to know about it, right? And so there's like, you know, not only is there, you know, an afterlife, but there's also the free-spiritedness of like, you know, it's going to all be over at any second. So it's like, I think people don't have a North Star anymore. They don't have anything to work towards. There's nothing they can do. It's because more intelligence equals more life concepts equals life is harder. Yeah, exactly. Top it off, your parents had a hard time getting the health care they need. Oh yeah, of course, right? And then this is a problem for you as well that's compounded on top of your problems. Yet you can't buy a house, but you can work towards Apex Predator in Apex Legends. Yes.
Themselves in their rooms for months and years at a time. In 2010,
I've done this. I remember whenever I graduated high school, I wanted to spend an entire year and not talk to anybody. There would be like whole weeks I would be able to get away with it. God damn, that was fucking good.
There was an estimated 700,000 hikikomori in Japan. And today it's estimated to be about 1.55 million.
That's a lot of Genshin Impact players.
Forces have arrived.
And because of things like this, people aren't having babies, so Japan's population has been in a sharp decline since 2011. It's gotten so bad that Japan even produces videos of live-action women staring into the camera to help the hikikomori learn to cope with eye contact and reintegrate them back into society. So basically, if you want to know America's future...
Well, they're fucked.
The item is ready.
Look no further than Japan. A lot of people, including myself, blame this partially on the rise of social media and technology. RIP to the king. Although technology makes things easier, it can also make us...
Ted Kaczynski knew. He said, fuck that industrial revolution shit. Yeah, oh, so this guy, that guy, alright, so Ted Kaczynski was the Unabomber, so he wrote like a massive fucking manifesto, and the FBI spent like $50 million to try to get his ass. They did get his ass, and recently he's been in jail for a long time. He finally died recently. And anyway, he did all of this stuff, and what else? So basically, like, what he said is that he wanted basically the larger scale of society causes people to lose their sense of individuality and self, because there is like a governing apparatus that suppresses their life. And that happening was like enabled by the Industrial Revolution. And but guys, I'm not saying, oh wow, the crazy guy that blew people up was right. I'm just explaining who the guy is and what he thinks. Okay, I'm just saying this is what he said.
More atomized. Why go to the mall when I can just tap, buy a new microphone and have it shipped to me in a day? Why hang out with friends when I can get all my social interaction I need from Twitter and streamers? Why go on dates and bother meeting women when I could just tap, Google big boob and get 2 million results? Or see my...
It's more than that now. And also, the better thing now is that people are getting AI girlfriends and stuff. Like, I think sometimes whenever I see something really fucked up on the internet, I'll screenshot it just so I don't forget about it. And, like, I've been seeing a lot of these advertisements recently. Have you guys seen these? Advertisements for, like, these AI girlfriend websites? Dude, there's so many of them. Like, Replica? Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the big one. And, like, you're gonna have even more of those. And I think people are going to have... I think it's not as close as we might think to it being socially acceptable. But, like, here's a really good way to say it, okay? Is that if you go and you watch Emaru at, or, like, Miz or Tectone or any of the people at fucking Anime Expo, there are people walking around Anime Expo with body pillows. And, like, it's gone from being... This is something that only the biggest fedora-wearing losers do, to it being kind of funny. And it going from being fucking weird to a joke is a step up in accepting it. Right? And so I think the AI girlfriend stuff is going to happen. Are they crunchy? Probably.
high school crushes holes on OnlyFans for only $5.
Yeah.
Instant dopamine, instant satisfaction.
There's even, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, she knows. And there's this, like, there are these girls on Instagram, or not, oh fuck, not Instagram, OnlyFans, Fansly. One of the big things that these girls make money with is like doing, like, obviously, like, there's girls say like, oh, I'm doing customs, right? And that's like, you know, you tell like, oh, you know, do this and I'll give you $10, and you know, they do it and they give you $10. But like, there's also girls that like dudes will pay money just to send them messages and to talk to them.
Our cannon is itching for
it's straight up just like strippers. But the best thing about it is that a number of these girls, and this is not really like a huge secret, they're not even answering the messages. It's like, maybe it's like a dude answering the messages. They hire dudes. Yeah, they hire people to answer their messages. Isn't that insane? Yes, and also, if you don't believe that, Andrew Tate literally did this. He said that.
The item is ready.
Yeah. AI no need to hire? Yes, and remember, was it Amarath or was it some other girl that was going to make like an AI version of themselves to talk to people? And they were making tons of money off of it too.
Who even needs a real woman when you could just have an AI girlfriend? We're so dating apps really are the great Satan. I'm convinced they've completely broken men's brains. Women on dating apps are picky. Women in general are picky, and
well, that's what makes sense that women are picky. You look at it biologically. Some dude hooks up with a girl, fucking busts a nut, bro. He's down the road. Meanwhile, she's got to deal with this shit for 9.5 months. Like, evolutionarily speaking, it makes sense that girls have to be more picky. 18 years? Well, I mean, that's only because of the law, right? Yeah, I've listened to the Kanye West song you're referring to. I know what you mean. Hoflation is a real thing. Don't downplay it. Hoflation. What is hoflation? Is this a new one? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Is this a new one? Sounds like some Red Bull shit. Yeah, no, it is. But like, the price of hoes is too damn highs. Girls are less hot with higher standards. Girls are less hot with higher standards. I don't know. I mean, guys are less hot with higher standards. Yeah, it's like, how do we not know that's the same? Because, like, I get what you're saying, but, like, I've never used a dating app, okay? I really mean, I've never downloaded Tinder, Bumble, Christian Mingle, Farmers Meet, Plenty of Fish, Grindr. Yeah, I haven't done any of these ever. So I don't really understand this. But like, whenever I see, like, girls will show me some of the guys that will match with them, and this will be like, you know, for example, like a 23-year-old girl, and it's a 45-year-old man matching with her, and he's married. He has a picture of him and his wife in like his photos because it's connected to Facebook.
Feeling jumpy. We're defenseless.
It's just like, I don't know. Inflation is real, is it? Like, that is nuts. Searching for a second wife, maybe? Pick a card. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, naturally we are pickier. You know, we're the ones who carry the babies.
Yeah, you
at
have
least
to
for
be.
now. But on dating apps, you have to admit, it's a little insane. It's safe to say that the commodification of love and the window shopping of dating apps probably has to do a lot with the rise of lonely single men. Men are not just lonely when it comes to dating, they're lonely when it comes to friendship too. According to Vox, Americans are currently in a friendship recession, and men are being hit the hardest. The percentage of men who reported having at least 6 close friendships fell in half since the 90s. 1 in 5 men say they have
2021. I don't know. I feel like that's a bad frame of reference because that was during COVID. Again, I'll read something and try to, like, I'm the kind of person that will like read something and then try to find out how it's wrong. Just like that's just how I think. So like maybe I'm like overthinking it, but is that true for you guys? Hoflation means a 25-year-old now has to work 40% harder than his grandfather for a woman 40% less appealing than his grandmother was to his grandfather. Okay, let me think about this. A guy has to work harder. Okay, I get it. This is like the thing, is like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not like going and like trying to date a bunch of different girls. Like, what the fuck? Like, I have no idea. So it's hard for me to say. The 666 rule in order for a guy to back. Oh yeah, 6 figures, 6 feet, and 6 inches. Yeah, I've heard of that before. The women are also less appealing now because of porn. I think that is true. I think that guys, and like this is just what happens on social media. I think it fucks up people's head on social media, where like guys will look at a girl and think that she's ugly because she doesn't look like an anime. She doesn't look like Mikasa from fucking Attack on Titan, you know?
They're cruising for a bruising.
No close friendships. Looking at all these statistics, the explosion of figures like Andrew Tate is not surprising at all.
I believe being a man is a blessing because it starts so differently.
I agree with this too. I agree with Andrew Tate with this. You know, people talk about all the advantages that women have and everything like that. True, but like, goddamn, man, every day I wake up, I thank God I was born a man. I'm gonna be honest.
Every man is born without any
I think that also, like, for a lot of you guys that might say, like, oh, no, I don't feel that way, right? Wait till you're 33. Because, like, the perspective you have at 23 versus 33, very different situation.
You at all. I think that the world's never going to think you're important unless you make yourself important.
And recently, a new study came out about how young men are moving towards the right. And every other month, we, the liberal, sucked-in, leftist, whatever you want to call the space online, performs the same song and dance. What's wrong with men? Why is this happening? Why don't we have a leftist Andrew Tate? We need to push men to the left. Andrew Tate rarely, if ever, talks about politics.
No.
Andrew Tate talks about men, and the left only talks about men when they talk about Andrew Tate.
Well, it's also like a lot of guys, like, to be honest, I think a lot of guys like being abrasive, obnoxious, assholes, aggressive, and guys don't like getting tone policed. And I feel like all the fucking time you get tone policed for acting that way. Constantly. And so that's why I think people go towards that direction, is because they don't want to get tone policed. They don't want to get told what to do. They don't want to get told like, oh, you can't make that joke. You can't act that way. Bitch, shut the fuck up. I do what I want. And that's why they do it. It's because you have people that are doing something that in their mind is innocuous. It gets described as something that's completely different. And then they get treated as if that was the intention. And so they say, fuck you. I'm not going to do that. The girls like, man up. I've always felt like it's so hard to have somebody that will respect you whenever you're vulnerable if you're a dude. Maybe that's the same thing as girls, right? Because like a lot of guys are only sympathetic to girls because they want to fuck her. So like, I have to listen to her cry. It's like doing a daily quest or a weekly quest or like building up a reputation with a faction, and wow, it's like, you know, you get like a really hot girl. It's like Winter Saber Frost Traders. It's like maybe you get like a couple of easy ones. It's like, you know, getting Iron Forge reputation or something like that. So it's like, you know, this girl's not as hard to get. But like, you know, sometimes you want to have the more, you know, interesting and like unique mounts. And so you'll try to farm out like a, you know, Zulian Tiger. And so it takes longer, to do. But like at the end of the day, you know, guys are not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it because this is a means to an end. And so I think that a lot of the generosity and a lot of the like kind of the way that like the advantages that girls enjoy from like male attention and like males like doing things like that and being supportive towards them, that will go away instantaneously as soon as either she gets a boyfriend or she's not attractive to him anymore or something else changes. Because it's not actually genuine.
Easily done.
Months ago, during one of the monthly song and dances, some progressive people I follow made the mistake of addressing men's issues. And the even bigger mistake of pointing their finger at...
Reason why young men flock to alt-right MRA movements, MRA is men's rights activist, is because the left gives brain-dead advice to young men. We need to be more compassionate to them for our own sake. Yeah, I think this is like, I don't know if this is like a left or a right thing, because I think actually, I think that, like, I feel like Andrew Tate is like, it's not very compassionate either, but there's like a certain level of like male aggression to the lack of compassion that's more compelling.
Their own spaces for not doing enough to address said men's issues.
Recently, there were some statistics by healthcare company Cigna indicating that men are the loneliest generation. And addressing it doesn't mean that you turn your back on issues pertaining to women, but it does mean that we should...
Well, there's also a lot of women out there, right? And I see this all the time, is there are a lot of women out there that hate men. Like, in the same way that there are these, like every time something bad happened, like, remember there was that one YouTube channel? And I used this example before. There was this one YouTube channel of this guy who played Red Dead Redemption 2. And the only thing that he did was he would lasso the women suffragettes. Those are the ones that were protesting for the right for women to vote. And, you know, get them out of the town, drag them in the dirt, you know, into the swamp, and, like, feed them to crocodiles in Red Dead Redemption 2, or put them on, like, the train track and have them get run over by the train. And, like, bro, all the comments were like, dude, good one, bro. Could you do it with, like, you have, like, a bull attack them and, like, knock them off a cliff or something? Oh, it'd be so good. And then, like, 2 days later, you see a new video come out, like, based, bro. Yeah, exactly. And so there are a lot of guys that just simply resent women, and I think there's a lot of women that just simply straight up resent guys. Some reasons being, I think, reasonable and understandable. Some reasons are fucking stupid, and there's a lot of in between. But yeah, that's the reason why you see this, is that, like, whenever women see this, there are some women, it's like, you know, in their mind, right, their dad was an asshole, you know, maybe they had, like, bad sexual experiences growing up, you know, something in their mind just fucking happened in their life happened, and, like, now they fucking hate men. It's the same reason why I think people are racist, too. It's like a lot of the people that I think are racist probably had a bad interaction with a person of a certain race, and then that painted their entire perspective on everybody of that race. That's what happens. Yeah, or they didn't have a dad. Yeah, or something like that.
Be focused on what it is in society that is leading to this epidemic, what the left can do to offer solutions, and how we can basically fight back against the more nefarious figures who have filled the void that, you know, men are struggling with, people like Jordan Peterson and what have you. Now, recently, Vosh, who's a popular streamer, had tweeted this thread that I think is really, really important to address. He writes, "I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand